I'm live now, and let me go to YouTube Studio, and if all's well, I guess I'm just going to work today. These past two streams have been kind of crazy, so we're just going to see what happens today. Either way, plenty of code to do, plenty of work to do, and yeah. Let's see if we can get this dynamic lighting refactor done today. If we can have it work today and functional and happening, then life is good. And if not, then yeah, it's not the end of the world either. It's not the end of the world. Just means that I have some work to do on my spare time. Or off stream. Or whenever. Anyways, let me close out some processes here because I have like some chunky processes. I really kind of want to do the website building, but I think that's gonna be a personal project I do. I think that's just how the cookie's gonna crumble here. One second. Let me make sure I have things working as intended. Here we go. Cool. And I think with that we should be good to go. I should be able to start working. Okay. So last time I was figuring out how we're going to have this data be serialized, and I think I landed on just making a custom editor, and I think it should be much more simpler than I expected, just because the data we're displaying is really just like a couple, it's just a factor 4, so shouldn't be that crazy in all honesty. And then I found I have a little math library, so the logic we're going to need to do our line distance calculation is here. I think this is it. I hope it's correct. Closest point on line. Yeah, we're gonna have to see. We're gonna just have to see how this comes out. Oh, it's recommended to use a stream bit rate of 68 kilobits per second. 68,000. That's news to me. Okay. Well, I suppose we just move around real quick. Let's just get started. Let's jump into it and dive headlong into the code. So we're going to be doing a custom editor, so that's relatively simple. And for the data we're doing, it's actually very, very simple because we're just doing like a vector 4 primitive, and I think it should be fine. And I'm going to be working with I have some pre-existing ones to work with too as reference, so I think this should actually be pretty trivial. Let's just make sure I have things done correctly. Light settings UI, we're going to use this guy as a reference because I always forget the basic syntax for this. And of course we have to do the whole Unity pragma stuff so that we don't include this in builds and break things. Swaying River. What have I just come across? That seems to be a running theme. You've come across peak, my friend. You've come across peak productivity. That's what you've come across. You come across the cutting edge of game deving and programming in general. That's all one can say. Oh. This has to be for point light. Well, this needs to be refactored as well, because now you're just a light. You're just a cozy light. But yeah, it's enjoyable. It's a nice form factor. I enjoy it. And then we have this Gizmo's draw color. So we're gonna have to do stuff. This is gonna be a general light source thing now. We just have this point light data thing. Which, by the way, why did I format it this way? I don't even know. Anyways, so we're gonna have different ways of drawing data. Which is fine. Should be pretty straightforward, I think. I think it should be pretty straightforward. I just want to get through some of this junk, not junk, but I just want to get through a lot of the coding stuff so we can start playing with the visual, do some visual debugging with shaders. That's always like the funnest part of programming. What am I doing? I'm trying to do this. Yeah, switch cases. Oh, my bad. I'm supposed to be using type. There we go. There we go. And then we can do a bunch of stuff. We can throw... What is this? Color, new vector 4. Yeah, because we don't include the alpha there. So that's how we draw a point light. And that should be fine. And then here for the line, we're going to do a couple things. I need to fix this camera situation. It's kind of annoying how it keeps resetting every 30 minutes for tax evasion purposes. Honestly, we should just have this defined once at the very top here, because that's going to be a common thing we do anyways. Then we're just going to do this, and then we have to draw another 1, 2. That's the radius. Emacs or Vim? Big Vim. We're big Vim in this household. TR Deadshot. Hey, glad to see you back from yesterday. Appreciate to have you here. And we're picking up from where we left off yesterday, which was making a custom inspector and hopefully getting this lighting stuff done. Because this is a fun, like, once you get over the CPU side of things, shader coding is super fun, because like you can just recompile code while the program is executing and you see the visuals update. It looks super sick. But to get to that promised land of funness, we're gonna have to break a lot of things, which is also fun. Now, in our lighting model, we have this intensity thing. So we're no longer using this parameter, because instead we have intensity, which we're using. Or actually, we have radius. This is using radius. Ooh, we should draw multiple spheres. Whatever, we're not gonna. So we have that, and then for the wire sphere, we have like. Oh, this is gonna be very odd. We have intensity. Oh, this is weird. Because there is like a concept of radius for like a line light source. Oh, this is so funky. This is so weird. How are we going to define that? Yeah, we should really button down the definitions of things before we go crazy here. So we have the point and we have radius defined for the x. So I think we just co-op W and make this a radius. All in favor of that? Aye? Cool, cool, cool. We're all in agreement? Sweet. In that case, we're gonna have... This kind of bothers me, I'm not gonna lie. I like having this be consistent I think I might just do this instead. And then we just have to swizzle it. X, Y, Z, W. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do it like that, just for consistency's sake. Hey, what's good, samurai? Samurai. No weird formatting, no nothing, just straight up, you are the samurai. I dig it. Good to have you here. So this can be radius, which means position is now going to be data light data dot data, and then we have to do a swizzle, a W C X Y Z W swizzle, which doesn't exist, so we have to actually extend things in our vector utility class. I think we have some swizzle operators already. Yeah, we have some stuff here. We just gotta extend it. What keyboard are you using? I'm using an IBM Model M, I think. It's an OG one from 1985. It's pretty good. She treated me well. She feels pretty good to work with. Can't complain. Normally, I use a split keyboard for like my professional work or if I'm going to be doing more extensive stuff, but usually this is good enough for me. Or at least for these streams, this is pretty good enough. This will be a vector 4 component. What language? C#. Big C#. C# and then HLSL for the shader graphic stuff. Y. Z. No, not vector 3. And then W. YZW, and then we go back here, and now we have our YZW operator to swizzle. I think that's how I do all my other swizzles. Yep. Cool. So I can save, right, quit. Nicola, what's good, Nicola? Oh, good to see you. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you too, man. Good to see you too. Good to see you, man. Honestly, I appreciate seeing you guys. Every time I stream, I'm like, all right. I'm like, what are we gonna be doing here? Do people want to see lighting code? Actually, I think we were truly here just for the IBM, and everything's like secondary. Hey, Cozy, what's up, Nubix? Good to see you here. Hope all is well. Oh my goodness. YZW. So this should draw 2 gizmos. In fact, we should just do like, we're gonna simplify this. It's gonna be fine. Vector 3, start. It's gonna be equal to transform dot position, and then end is gonna be this whole light data and then the swizzle. We love swizzling. Bro, what theme are you using? I'm using Grovebox. One of the Grovebox themes. It's a basic one that's available. Like on the in most IntelliJ or VS Code plugin places or pages. It's a pretty good theme. I enjoy it. I kind of put it in most things. Draw line. So we can see where start, end. Cool, so now we have a light data type of point. We just draw the sphere. If it's a line data light type, we draw both spheres and then the line that connects, both spheres and the line that connects start and end. Sweet. And then finally, now that we have that going, we must go to the custom inspector and actually do things in here. Scary things, but things nonetheless. What is he doing? Hey bro, what language is it? C#, yep. What theme are you using? Yeah, I got that. Or something. I'm making a game. So actually, let's go into, let me go into Discord real quick, because the game right now we're breaking things and you're not going to be visually able to see things. Here we go. Let's go. I really need to work on a new website design so I can like just have things offhand available. So this is a game I'm kind of going back to work on. Let's see if I can find a good picture or video. So this is a game I'm working on. It's been called numerous. I've called it Messy Mansion. It's been published as Stain World prototype. Oh, the lights, the normal map stuff isn't working on that video. Yeah, we have some big pictures of the environments here. But yeah, so this is a game I'm working on, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but we are not using Unity's basic we're not using Unity's basic lighting system. We have our own proprietary lighting system. So I have my own lighting model and everything, and it works pretty good. But in this iteration of the game, it only supports point lights. So I'm trying to make it much more dynamic, where we can have various types of light sources. Yeah, no, the sprite, I have better sprite lighting in the other video. Oh, I edited this video? That's crazy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, normally you have like rim lighting, but it is what it is. Scene setup? Yeah, sure, I'll show you. It's very, it's not great. But this is the basic setup, and then I have to resize things to make things visible. And I think if I press play, let's see what even happens with my busted lighting. Let's see if anything even happens right now. Oh, it is visible. You're just not going to see cool lighting. Yeah, the past streams were working on this occlusion culling system, and that's working fine. And now we're just kind of, yeah, the lighting isn't working because there's point lights here, but they're not being visible. The directional light seems to be working fine though, which is cool. And you can see like the rim lighting taking effect. Not VS Code? No, it's not VS Code. We're using Rider. Yeah, Rider's a bit stronger than VS Code. Thank you. The game looks good. Thank you, Samurai. Looks old. That's the whole point, brother. Theon, above. Wait, is it? The one above all. Yeah, that's kind of the point that I like. It's so old. It's very different. It's very it's a nice little throwback. Sometimes you need to do that. Sometimes you need a throwback in life. Look, all I'm saying, man, is that back in the day when the websites only had HTML and CSS, and we had like a couple kilobits of RAM, maybe megabytes of RAM, life was simpler back then. I'm just saying, as soon as we started doing some JavaScript madness and getting into the gigabits of RAM, the world got a little bit worse. Okay, maybe I'm being a little facetious, but it's fun to be a little facetious. I'm glad you like it though, Joel. Did you create 3D assets by yourself? Yep. Everything I did is me. I did it in all the 3D models, the music, the pixel art. I use a program called Sprite to do all my sprite work. Everything's done did over here. Do I have my cozy? Where is that? I keep forgetting. It's a bit tricky to get access to my it's a bit tricky to get access to like my D drive. It's like what? How do you do this? It's like media, I think. Yeah, here we go. And then I go into Kusicam Games, Messy Mansion, and I probably have some sprites here. A couple different sprites, assets, characters. There's player sprites. There's like other character sprites, like this girl. No, not that girl. That's not even a girl. That's a dude. And this person. Where's their portraits? NPCs. I want to find a cool portrait. That's some ideas I was playing around with. Anton, yeah. I can't find the portraits. That kind of sucks. I know I had some stuff in here, but now I can't find it. It's been a while. Use UI toolkit for Unity UI? No, I'm just using some just basic stuff. I sub. Thank you, Noble. I appreciate it. A lot of hard work. Yeah, we like doing games the hard way. I like savoring. I like having a goal, but I like enjoying every part of making a game. And I mean, I know we have like some Ace sprite files or some. Oh yeah, we have like an animation here for I guess night swings. That's a thing. But yeah, what's up, Stoicism? I can't believe you have the concept of Stoicism in chat. That's crazy. That's crazy. Learn game dev, but I can't get those tough maths, dude. Honestly, man, like you can get by with, like I did quite a number of things back in the day in GameMaker Studio, or actually GameMaker 8.1 back in the day before it became Studio, with like very minimal math. Like if you have some basic ideas of algebra, you'll be surprised how much you can do. And then trigonometry really is just like not that crazy. Like you just have to have the concept of sine and cosine, and you can do wonders just with that alone. And if you get comfortable enough with that, then the world is your oyster. Then you can start doing some other crazy stuff like, I don't know, doing some matrices. You don't even have to do that stuff too often though, but like honestly, a lot of what you do is find, like there's always benefits to getting better at math, and you get more different attack vectors for solving problems in more elegant ways. But, wait. Yeah, it's supposed to be this. Yeah, I was yapping for a second. But, like, knowing what a dot product is, knowing what a cross product is, and then your basic sinusoidal functions, like, you can do so much with that. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy what you can do with it. Yeah, learn some basic linear algebra. Yeah, honestly, like, for anyone who's curious and wants to learn more about this stuff with applications directly to games, I highly recommend, and you probably heard of this person, but there's a person named Freya who has a really good series on, like, math for games. Yeah, like basics of like, yeah, like basic stuff, like explanations of different concepts, math for game devs. Yeah, so like this video in particular is great. It's like the first part of a series, and it talks about what vectors are and dot products are and some cool utilizations of it. And spoiler alert, like it's super simple and it's super powerful. So like all our lighting code is actually, like really you just use dot products for most of this stuff. Like most of the things you do in rendering, you'll be surprised how much of it is just dot products, dog. Like you think it's like ray tracing and shooting rays and bouncing things around, but reality is it's all just dot products. Brea is not for absolute beginners. No, definitely not for absolute beginners. Like this is more like the next steps. Like you should at least get your familiarity with just algebra concepts and sinusoidal functions, and you can Just learn what sine is, what cos is, and what a unit circle is, and you'll be surprised what you can do. Just using those two functions. Love to see these coding streams. I appreciate it, man. It has vectors, integrations, and differentiation. I hate those. Yeah, I don't. Here's the secret. I don't even know those things, man. Like, I know the concepts of differential equations. I know, like, really, really abstractly what integrals are, but not really. But, like, you know, I'm not being proud of my ignorance. Like, I'd like to get better at this stuff eventually and actually take some time to level up there, but I've been able to survive quite a long while without that stuff being too much of a liability. Like, most interesting things I want to do with game deving, I'm able to do without most of those things. So take that for what you will. Editor. Yeah, take that as like a lowering of the bar of entry, but not a demeaning of having those skill sets, because there is value in those skill sets. Use functional coding. Oh, brother. Just start building. Guys, it's functional coding. It's super simple. Dude, monads are just monoids in the order of endofunctors. Like, it's so common sense, man. Everyone knows that, dude. It's so simple, man. I love that Wikipedia definition of monads. It makes it sound so much more. It makes it sound so much crazier than it actually is. Makes me more motivated. I'm glad, Samurai. That's the intention here. That is the intention here. Float field. What do you need here? What do you need? Tell me. Whisper to me. Tell me what you require of me. Rect position. Ooh. I don't want to give you that information. That's private. Okay, we're gonna have to. There's like a few. There's like GUI editor. I forgot. There's like a few static classes to access to do editor stuff. I have to look it up. We might have to Google, guys. Tragic, I know, but we might have to actually do some Googling. It breaks my heart too. It breaks my heart. But sometimes you just got to do it. Which distro is this? Ubuntu. It's JetBrains Mono. I use that too. Yeah, it's pretty common. Pretty common. To become a nerd to do all this, kind of. I mean, on the one hand, I do kind of consider myself a nerd. On the other hand, though, I feel like I don't know. Actually, I was gonna say some of this stuff is motivated by pride to want to get better. Like, maybe that's part of it, but I think there's a part of me that's a good chunk of me that just takes joy in delighting, like, in discovery and finding new ways to do things and just taking pride in making something good. Like, being content in making something that I feel is good. If that's nerdy, then yes. But if we think about that as just passion, then maybe. Yeah, this requires a position. What are we doing here? There's editor layout. Okay, we're just gonna have to Google. Tragic, sad. We have to Google things. Unity custom editor. Float field. Heartbreaking. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. Just having a label. Editor, GUI layout. That's what I did. Parameters, optional label to display font. Value to edit. Oh, you have to pass by reference. That's interesting. Float the value entered by the user. Oh, so no, it's not passed by reference. It's just updating it with the correct current version of it. Interesting. So this should be, so maybe it's just an overload I was looking at. Or source dot data dot x. First of all, we're starting to go off screen here, so we're gonna just do a little new liner. What's up, Bishwadi? Bishwashdai. Nice monitor, thank you, Marcel. Keyboard name, please. Keyboard name, please. Oh, sorry, I did not see that. It's an IBM Model M, 1985. You can find it in some vintage festivals, probably on Facebook Marketplace somewhere. What do you do to study programming? We just program. Honestly, programming is one of those things. I mean, for me, right, where like, there's some people who can read a book and they'll just get all the knowledge and be able to apply it directly. For me, I have to start with trying to apply something and then getting the associated knowledge of it, right? So like if I can do an example, there's some people who, when they want to learn a new programming language, they read the documentation of that language and kind of understand everything conceptually first, and then they start doing some stuff with it. For me, I'm like, all right, I just want to start, like when we started learning Odin, I was like, all right, I just want to, let's start just printing a screen. How do you print something to Odin? Okay. How do I do data types? Okay, I need to have a struct. How do you do structs in Odin? And then piecemeal kind of finding things as I try to go to that goal and I hit a blocker, then I start looking for information. So it kind of depends on what kind of flavor of approach fits good for you. I'm more of that persuasion. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way I do it. And then there's the other thing, right? Like sure, you can do that, but there's a limit to how much you can improve. I'm gonna keep going to this graph because it's such a good visual explanation. But there's things that you don't know, and having someone who knows more than you, who can mentor you, will drastically increase it allows for a greater possibility of drastic improvement, right? Because if you don't know something, then there's no way for you to research it. But if there's someone who knows this stuff, they can let you know, and then now you know that you don't know that thing, and then you can Google or try practicing it or do something with it, right? I got that largely from work, from having someone who's just way more knowledgeable at me than this, but and just kind of like providing this info whenever I hit a wall. But there's people who do things a bit, there's different settings for that. You know, you can go to game jams and you'll be surrounded by people who are different experience levels. That's why I started going to game jams when I was 14. I was like the youngest game dever, like in Orlando. I remember messaging the event planner because I was like, hey, your site says only people 18 plus can go, but can I go? And it was for my birthday. I went. And like, dude, my first game jam, I was surrounded by my first game jam, my team was kind of stacked. Because at that game jam, and if you don't know what a game jam is, it's a 40-hour event where you just get with a bunch of people, you pitch ideas for games, and then you spend 2 days making that game happen. And like my first game jam, I worked with 2 guys from Google, 2 software engineers from Google, and then a guy named Jay Tholen. He was an awesome pixel artist and made a game called Dropsy at the time. And then he also made Hypnospace Outlaw. Yeah, that's my boy. That's Jay. But yeah, I was like surrounded with a bunch of people that knew way better than me. And then like a professor at a university I eventually went to was there too. And I didn't work with him directly, but I got to talk with him. And so like that's one vector of finding people who are smarter than you. Is this Fortnite? I'm sure, maybe, hopefully. It was an IBM sick. Do you use AI? Not really. I tried AI. It's kind of more of a liability than it is a boon. That is my opinion. My opinion. I know it's probably going to get better. There's also like this level off point where there's like a point where you can't get much better without increasing costs, so the marginal benefit becomes not really great. But yeah, I don't think there's at the end of the day, like there's, maybe I'm kind of biased, but I think there's no replacement for just good, solid arcane wizard knowledge. And yeah, do in method declaration. The brain conglomerate. Yes, the brain conglomerate is here. Ranch cookie. Sorry, can you give the modern name again? Oh, my bad. Thank you. It's called a Magnavox. A Magnavox Color Display 40. That's what I'm using. Programs written in that language. See how it handles prompts. Yep, different ways of handling it. Different ways of cracking that cookie. Currently learning Android app development with Kotlin. Very different. And C. Bro, I learned programming in C language when I have one loop, it's okay. But when I have loop, inside loop, my brain block, like my RAM full. I feel like 50 megabytes. Yeah, well, here's the thing, right? Like, you should in most cases, you're not the only one. Like, even for me, having nested loops upon loops can be really weird and gnarly. And there's kind of a reason why people will avoid it, because, like, there's also performance implications of that. So it's a whole thing. I saw you, Vanta Black. Said hi. What's up, Colin? This indie game industry is competitive and cluttered. What do you think? I mean, it is competitive and cluttered, and that will be stressful if you're relying on that for your financial sustenance. But I have this cool thing called a day job, and I work on games purely just for the fun of it. And I do want to make like professional products and software. Like, I enjoy doing that, but that's much more just for me. And then as a side effect, you guys eventually get to play games like this. But yeah, so it's stressful for independent game developers, for sure. At the same time, like, it's this weird thing where it's like, okay, you have a saturated market, that's bad, but like a lot of the market's kind of junk stuff, and the barrier of entry for doing like good, interesting games are kind of low because there's a lot of tools that didn't exist back in the day. So I don't know. And of course, there's the whole thing of AAA's kind of fumbling and not making great games as often or as consistently. So there is that thing as well in favor of indies. But yeah, it's I don't really have my dog in that race too much, thankfully. And I hope I never, like, I don't know. I think it's cool maybe one day to be able to do game deving full time, but on the other hand, like, I think having to rely on market forces to make games would suck the fun out of it for me, and I don't like that. Making this, like, streaming and coding and doing whatever projects I want to is kind of like my cozy, safe area, like my safe place away from the stresses of daily life, and I really don't want that to be invaded by economic forces. Bro, is ChatGPT is this guy that responds to everyone in ChatGPT? How do you have all the answers, man? I don't have all the answers. We just had to Google right now. I didn't know how to do this or the overload for this function. And someone asked what an overload is. It's basically just like you have two functions with different signatures. So you have like function do thing that takes in like a float x, but then maybe you have a different function of doing that same thing that requires different parameters. So you provide float y. That's a function overload, basically. The same function name with different signatures. That's all there is. That's all. Nothing crazy. Nothing too crazy. It's all microtransactions. Yeah, like it's predatory stuff. Experience, practice, reiteration, or refining. Chase. Thanks, Gerard. I appreciate you. You covered that base for me, man. Yeah, this is not going to be a float field, though. This needs to be a vector field. Vector 3 field. End position. Behind the music, guy who responds to every question in ChatGPT. Well, this is such a fun setup, man. Thank you. You got to have something different, man. I mean, override, not overload. Override, that's different. That's dealing with inheritance. I'm new. What kind of game I'm making? I'll show you. We're breaking rendering right now. Actually, no. This should... Okay, one second. We're just going to have to comment some stuff out so that this works. Oof. My bad. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah, no syntax errors, cool. Why don't you use NeoVim? I'm using Vim Motions. I don't use NeoVim for projects like this because I like the features of Rider. I like how easy it is how easy to refactor things are in Rider. I know like there's a Roslyn LSP that you can use for NeoVim to have the same kind of like syntax highlighting and IntelliSense stuff, but there's just a bunch of features from Rider that just makes ensuring code quality or things of that nature just more consistent. So that's why we don't use Rider for things like this. For smaller projects, or why I don't use NeoVim for projects like this. But for smaller projects like you know C++ projects that I'm working independently on that are very lean, I actually prefer using it. It's just fun. I don't like having the overlay of like C-line, for example. In your method declaration, it is public override void function. I've never seen an override keyword like this. I thought you were using override for overriding a method in subclass. Oh, wait. So this is a subclass. Are you talking about this, right? And in your method declaration, it is public override void function. Yeah, that's what you're doing. Like this. I thought you had to use override for overriding a method in subclass. No, you can just do override for overriding methods in subclasses. OnInspector GUI is a method within the editor. Can I not navigate into the subclass? There we go. Decompile it for me. Thank you. Yeah, there's like a function in here, a virtual function. Or maybe an abstract. No, it's not abstract. Is it an abstract class? No, it's a concrete class. Yeah, it's a virtual function somewhere here for drawing inspector. Right now, loving the progress and passion, my dude. Thank you, man. Terrell, you're brother. I don't know what happened, man. Like 4 days ago, like you guys don't realize, like this is kind of wild. These past 3 days, man. Like for the past, like honestly, a couple years, man. I've been streaming to like 1 or 3 people. Usually my boy SFM2 has been there since he's my boy. And I'm not complaining, like even just having 3 people interested in what I'm doing and hanging out and chatting while I work on stuff is like super, I enjoy it. It's nice. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that there's like having quite a number of people here who are, I mean, probably interested in the setup because setup is pretty sick, man. I think it's pretty sick. But who are sticking around to like see some of the stuff we're doing, and if I can provide information that helps you guys in your own personal programming journey, then heck yeah, man. That's the end goal. That's the end goal. Yeah, because I really do enjoy programming, and it's very fun for me. YZW. Vector 3. Nope, not. I want to open Unity Engine Vector 3. There we go. Cool, thanks. Sure thing, man. How to become this fast in dealing with functions and loops? You want to pick up some Vim Motions first of all, because that's going to be the easiest way. Every time you have to use your mouse to navigate your IDE or your computer, that's just slow. It's just gonna slow you down, and you have to bring it back here. And you have to get used to it. So pick up some NeoVim, and then hot take. You probably want to practice typing. Like just do some monkey type. I'm not even great at it. Like I'm not very fast. Like on a good day, maybe I can get to 100. But yeah, do your monkey type. You know, do your practice. Get pretty decent at this. Hopefully get to like 60 words per minute. Like the bar doesn't have to be that big, right? You just have to have some level of proficiency so that the time it takes to go from idea to actual code just happens. Cause like yeah, like typing is usually not the bottleneck for coding, but like yeah, let's go. That's actually pretty good for me. But yeah, just you know, the practicing this stuff helps so that you can iterate through things quickly. So you can try out ideas very quick without having to waste too much time, and you know, you have control over your code text, man. It's so clean in Firefox. I should look into that. And coding, why are you coding in an old computer? How long did it take you to get this good? Brother, a lifetime, man. I guess I started, like I mentioned, I started in middle school, so stagnated for a long time, and then found at least like 2 mentors who have been very pivotal in making me get good at programming. Actually, one particular one who's helped me far more than I think he realizes. Yeah. And just experience, and then surround yourself with smart people, dude. If you can be the dumbest person in the room, that's like fantastic. Like, yeah, it's not gonna feel great for your ego, but that means you have the biggest room for growth. And even now, like, and this is like true in a professional environment, there's gonna be people who like rub you the wrong way or kind of bother you just because like maybe they don't have the soft skills and everything. But like, don't allow that to blind you from the value they have to offer and, you know, the things they're actually saying, because maybe they might rub you the wrong way, but like there's actually some nuggets of good information there. And I think there's a lot of people who just get hung up on the emotion side of it and just throw out the baby with the bathwater. Like, be willing to listen to people. Not all information is good. There's things I don't agree with, but like, it's very different to have a different opinion about something. That it's a very different thing to just throw out what they say because you don't like that person, or maybe it's not even that you don't like them, but just in the moment the way they present information is rough. Versus like, okay, I've looked into what they told me and I understand why people like it, but for this and reasons I don't personally like it. That's a very different place to be at. So yeah. Be available for public? Yeah, in fact, there's a prototype on Newgrounds. It sucks. Like the videos I showed you, like it's there. It's just it's a very rough state of the game. It's more so like a prototype. So, you know, it may not be perfect. In fact, it's definitely not perfect. It has its weird stuff, and honestly, like, doesn't even have the story of the game that I have currently. Like the game has shifted fundamentally in terms of design and narrative and everything. So that demo would only be representative of just like how things can look and how you can interact with stuff. But it needs to get much better, that's for sure. So you have our point data entry, we have our line data entry, we have our source data entry. Cone, we're not going to do the light cone yet. We'll do that later. Are you Canadian? No. American. C++? No, it's C#. When did you start game dev? I want to start too. I'm in my freshman year. I started when I was like in middle school with like Game Maker Studio, and I did a bunch of playing around with that, but yeah, I just started with like a game engine and started Googling stuff. I think this should be good. I think we should be good here. So if I go into Unity now, it should just work, I'm hoping. Oh, there's one last line of code that we need to add here, don't we? Yeah, we don't need these process. Let me, oh no, this is the Git. We need the Git. Don't need that. Don't need a sprite for right now. Don't need this guy. Yeah, we're not doing this Odin project, so we're gonna exit this. And then we just need to have the line of code that draws the default inspector. There we go. Okay. I have played games that are almost 20 years. I'm trying to understand that statement. Have you played games for almost 20 years, or have you played games that are almost 20 years old? What you do too, man. You're honestly inspiring and motivating. I'm glad, man. Can I ever make good games with Python, or do I need to sharpen other coding skills? So like, there's my opinions about Python. So I have strong opinions about languages like Python and JavaScript. And then there's like a more like, let's try to be objective thing. So let's start here. The objective thing is, yes, you can make good games with Python. If you like Python coding and game deving, there's a guy named the Fluffy Potato. He used to stream. I'm not sure if he does anymore, but he did a lot of Python stuff. And I think it's like Fluffy Potato Python game dev. I think he's like PyCharm, I think. Yeah, duh Fluffy Potato on YouTube. So he'd be a great resource. Now, here's a big caveat, right? With languages like Python, JavaScript, and even like GameMaker language. I remember crying like in high school because I couldn't solve this bug, and I was like, I'm gonna quit being a game dev. And it's because of this. Those languages are dynamically typed. They're not statically typed. Which means that, like, for example, within C# land, a statically typed language, I can have a class like Cozy Light, and I can do target, and there's a bunch of things that it shows me all these different functions I can use that are part of this class, right? So I can't just type in like some gibberish like do yeah, and execute. The language goes, oh, I know for a fact that's not part of that class. You can't use that function. Or I can't access a variable that doesn't exist. Like target yo mama equals 5. Like you can't do that. It knows that it doesn't exist. You shouldn't do that. Languages like JavaScript and Python don't have a concept of that. Because they're dynamically typed. Which means you can have some very nasty bugs. There are like some stack traces, but when you start making a game, games can become very architecturally complex. So like it can become very hard to find where these issues crop up from. So that is my warning. But if you want to know if you can make good games with those languages, you definitely can. You can make good games with any language. Like that's not a... Sorry, I'm killing a fly, dude. So yeah, that's like my caveat. Now, maybe these languages have changed. Maybe there's IDEs are smarter, so maybe there's better tools for it, like PyCharm. But that's been my experience. It's a great resource to mitigate those errors. Okay, so there's ways around it. Why C# over C++? Because that's the language Unity requires me to use, and you can't escape it. I use C++ for my personal game engine project, but beyond that, yeah. Beyond that, not too much of a reason. Though I do enjoy, C# is a pretty good language. I enjoy it. I think it's surprisingly flexible. It's only when you start doing some weird nitty-gritty stuff that you can encounter some oddities, but hey, that's just life, right? This is serialized. We don't want to serialize this data property. Yeah, that's what I want to do. And Positions non-serialized. We also are going to be non-serializing this data, because that should not be visible. Only these fields should be visible. So I should be able to go into editor. It's going to recompile. I should go into the light, and I should just be able to choose things. Oh, Unity, my bad. No, you're good, man. This is a ground up project. No, but I have another project that's ground up. We meet again. Yes, three-legged chair. We do meet again. I'm making a game. I'll show it in a second. We're going to test it out. And we use the old monitor just because it's great. You just got to have something. Just got to have some. You got to spice things up, you know? Those macros are crazy. I'm not even using any macros. I'm just using Vim, basic Vim. Default Vim, the same Vim you would get if you downloaded IDEA Vim and put it into your IDE of choice or code editor of choice. Well, not code editor. Like VS Code and stuff like that should have support for it. So we have these point lights. Let's click on one. And we're going to zoom out a little bit. We're clipping, that's why. So now, if I go into here, there should be this parameters. I can choose what type of light source it is. If it's a light line or a point, beautiful. I should be able to choose a color. It's like yellow. I should make it pretty intense and make the radius big. I'm not seeing the gizmos be drawn. I'm not seeing anything happen really. So that's kind of concerning. Ooh, but I do see something. Okay, no, never mind. Never mind. Okay, it's just taking a few business days for the gizmos to operate. Okay, but we're not seeing the lighting actually be. Oh, there it is. There she blows. It just takes a while on Linux, I guess. It's not as real time as you'd want it to. So let's do like 1. I'm refactoring my lighting system, my lighting rendering pipeline. C++ is pretty high level, to be honest. I don't know if C# is garbage collected. Brother, C++ is not high level. I mean, there's things that exist now to make it more high level, like unique pointers and all that kind of stuff. What's up, Sayon? Hey, new to channel here. Glad to have you here. But C++, you're still dealing with bare metal. C# is very much garbage collected. And like there's choices made explicitly about how things are allocated for you. And C# you can do things like unsafe, and that will let you do more C++ type things. But even then, it's still odd and different. Okay, cool. So our point light system is working, it seems. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Our point light is behaving like a point light. Isn't that so great? I really wish it was just would update more frequently, but hey, we take our wins when we can. So now the next question is making our 2-point line work. So we have the option for a line. We have the option for... Brother, what is that? What is that? What is going on? Dude, what just happened? Alright, I think this is just a weird thing with... This is just a weird thing with i3, I guess. Yeah. She's not happy. It's okay. We're just going to do our best here. Radius, let's do a radius of like, I don't know, 50. And then our M position should be relative. So that's the big mistake I did here, is that it's not relative. We can do that though. Make GTA 6? Yeah, man. Just give me like infinite money bucks and we'll do that. Give me infinite money and we'll, in 10 years and... Dude, I'll single-handedly save the gaming industry by hiring all these artists. Your mic fire, thank you. Yeah, I really do enjoy audio. I do music production, or I used to. Well, actually, I do music production. Those features have added since C++ 11 is gradually proving it true, right? you're still managing it. Like the problems you're gonna encounter are still gonna be like low level if you do wrong. But yeah, they do help mitigate the low level stuff. But you still have access to the raw stuff, and you still have to make decisions about how things are gonna be memory managed. Like in C#, everything is garbage collected. Or if it's a primitive type, then it's stack allocated, like just within here. But even primitive types can be like heap allocated. Whereas C++, when you make a struct and you put it in a class, you have to make a conscious decision. Is it going to be stack allocated or is it going to be heap allocated? If it's heap allocated, how are we going to make sure that we don't have use after freeze and other weird stuff and make sure that there's no memory leaks? Are we going to just manually allocate and free it? Are we going to use a unique pointer or a shared pointer? If we do allocation, how do we want to allocate it? Are we going to just use basic malloc? Are we going to use an arena allocator? Like there's so many different ways of going about it that you just don't have with C#. But you have to do it alone. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're going to need a little bit more than 10 years, man. We're going to have to an arc for me to get good at 3D modeling first and learn how to rig, which is the thing that scares me. I haven't done any rigging in my life. It terrifies me. Probably why I've gone so hard into making 2.5D games. Yeah, one day I'll have someone where I can just be like, you're gonna do some rigging for me, buddy. I don't want to know anything about this. Usually I want to know everything about that's going on in my game, from art to coding, but not that. We're not gonna do that. Okay, so we have this light data. We have this gizmos that we haven't. Should be over here in this code. Yep, here. We have to make this endpoint be relative to the transform position. So that was our big mistake here. They have to be relative to one another. So it should be, honestly, I like this ordering even though it doesn't matter because this is commutative. But that should be correct. And then now we have to actually implement this into our lighting model. So we have this lighting model, point light process, and we have to do the actual correct rendering, like actual lighting, for this sunlight process. And then we have this PV per vertex lighting. Where's our point vertex stuff? Where do we do light model? This is how we do the remapping. Point light process. So we're gonna have the general. This needs to become a general just light process. And then we're gonna do all the math magic in there. We're gonna use all the same stuff here. And we're gonna figure out what to do from here. Meow? Meow? What? In a cave with a box of scraps. You either use smart pointers or custom allocators like Arena to forego some of the mess of manual memory managing in C++. Yeah, that's like the way you do it. But like unlike C#, you have the option for that kind of stuff. Like in C#, you do have some basic things. Like you can do like stack alloc. So you can do like, I don't know, vector 3 A equals stack alloc. Actually, this is for collection, I think. I don't think I can actually do just stack alloc on a vector 3, can I? Is that a thing? Oh, my bad. I know you can do it for like collections of like primitives and whatnot. I'm assuming you should be able to do it for fixed size structs. This is GPU code, my bad. I can't do this here. You get the idea though. Stack alloc is a thing, but that's like the gist of it. And then it's just the garbage collector makes things really weird. I want to know more about the arena allocation. What is it exactly? So it's like, the basic gist is like you pre-allocate a set number of things, and then instead of like having to allocate this memory randomly in the heap, instead you get like a slot within that arena you just pre-allocated. And then once you're done with your application or whatever, you just clear the whole arena because everything you've there's no loose allocations. Everything's within that arena. That's like the basic understanding I have. But yeah, like they're really cool. There's a bunch you could do with it. C++. And like a bunch of different languages like have some version of it. Like there's Rust arenas and stuff like that in Rust. But yeah, look into it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Haven't really done it myself personally, just because I'm still baby at C++. We're trying to get better at this. But that's how we would do it. Okay, we have this, and then we're gonna have int type, which is gonna be equal to light type I, and then we have our switch statement. You know, Terrell, if you're still here, man, what you said earlier about like you being happy like with everything that's happening right now, man, that's very meaningful to me, because like something I realized is that like it can be very difficult to find people who celebrate for you during like things like this. And I remember having this realization a while ago during a certain event where I was like, I did something major, but I was like the only person who can like was there to celebrate it. And like I was like, huh, this feels very, you know, it's kind of morose in a weird way, or not morose, but so that's why like hearing, like having read that a while ago, like just made me feel very, I don't know, what's that quote? Like the hardest part of success is finding people who, and I'm not saying I'm successful either, right? Like it just, the delta between where I was like a week ago versus like the streams right now, like it's kind of crazy. But like, I don't know, there's something about that just, I was like, all right, you're a real one, man. I really appreciate it. Not everyone has real ones in their life. I got a real one, dude. Let's go. Pre-allocate, yep. Is this JS? No, it's C#, man. Seen people do pre-allocating things, yeah. Yeah, and in my game engine, I do that, but I don't do arenas. I just have like, because I know for that game engine how many elements and entities I'm going to have. Like, I just have an array of these different things. And like my game is largely, like the core component stuff for the game is largely stack allocated. It's in a weird way. That's very different. That's like, that's a whole different thing. That's a very fundamental different way of doing things. And if you're making something that's meant to be flexible and more responsive, you probably wouldn't want to do it that way. I just like I did it that way just because I was like, I can. Like, this is a non-commercial product. We're going to try to do things in a very tight, cache coherent, whatever type way. And see how it goes from there, man. Is this Puppy Linux? No, this is just basic old Ubuntu Linux. Good old simple Ubuntu Linux. Point light process world, position normal, point luminance, point color composite, total. So we iterate here, but we don't need to do that. This is going to need an index, actually. In fact, that should be like the first parameter we do here as we iterate. And then we have this whole thing, and that's going to be here. And honestly, I should just predefine, yeah, these values. I know, I'm pretty sure HLSO has enums or a concept of enums. I just don't know how to do it, so we're just going to do define and call it a day. That's just how we're going to do things here. Sometimes you just got to do the simple thing, man. Did I do the thing right? No, I just did point. I just did like a bunch of different point definitions. No, line, cone. No, thank you. Yeah, here we go. Have a good one, guys. Hey, take care. I guess I'm taking a nap. It's fun being here, even just a little bit. Thank you, Three-Legged. Well, I appreciate you just coming out and hanging out and just seeing what's going on. So I'll catch you next stream, man. What coding language are you using? C#. What kind of monitor is that? It's a beautiful vintage CRT monitor, complete with the green color mode. So I don't have to stress out my eyes so much. In a weird way, it's kind of satisfying actually looking at this. Like I feel like my eyes are working not as hard. Godly dev for real. That setup is sick. Thank you, Elim. Hello, fellow programmer or dev. Not gonna lie, I've never seen someone using that kind of monitor to code. Not gonna lie, that's quite impressive. Hey, man. We all love Doom. What kind of monitor do you think they wrote that game in? It all comes back to that, man. It all comes back. You can't escape it. You can't escape it. You can't escape the CRT. That's what our forefathers used. World position, world normal. And these should all just be fine, I'm assuming. Yeah, then this should be a function call. And oh, we have to move this down here because position actually matters in here. Yeah, you should also take anything I say about C++ with a grain of salt because I do things really, really weird in C++. Like I also do Unity builds in C++, like or glob builds or whatever the language is called for doing that. So my code is structured in a very particular way as well in there. Just because of that. Like nothing I do would be considered like standard C++. Like I try to not have any headers if I can. So maybe I'm not the best figure to discuss this. Can I see it? Yeah, I can show you. Oh, wait. Broken shaders. We have broken shaders, everyone. Let's go. I'll just go into here. This is what the game should look like. 1 second. But now it's gonna be with better, more dynamic lighting. That's the visual effect I was trying to show last stream. Yeah, but this is how the game should look like, or roughly look like, except better, more prettier, more better. So yeah, that's the goal here. That's the goal. And Lua, and that gives me a headache, but this I can tell you really experienced. It just comes with time, man. It really just comes with time. My main language used to be GML. Like that was my main thing. It just takes time. You get better at it. Everything in life is just process. Letting things cook in the oven and bake. Data calc. That should be all the usages of this lighting thing. So now we should be able to. And keep in mind, like, it seems more complicated, or it seems like I'm smarter than I actually am, because keep in mind, you guys don't know anything about this code base, but I do. I'm familiar with it. But I imagine if you have your own code base and you started streaming and I tuned in, I'd be like, all right, what is this guy doing? What is Buddy doing here? What is this class you're doing? What is all this? All right, this is scary. I'm scared. Mom, take me home. Mom, I'm scared. I want to go back home. But that's just how the cookie crumbles. Index. Yeah, so we're no longer iterating here. So this is gonna be a very simple thing. Yeah, a very simple thing, which is nice because now we can get rid of one level of indentation. There's no longer a concept of continue. We just return, and there's no longer this I because we have index. Pretty sick. It works very well. And then I have to replace all these indices. It's okay. Do I really need a? Should I just like allocate this once and whatever? Just index into it. It's fine. It's fine. Or actually, if I was smarter, I would have just renamed the variable to I and then renamed it to index, and it would have fixed everything. But it's okay. The way you write code looks satisfying. Hey, it's a joy, man. My eyes are trying to follow the code. I'm sorry, man. I might be going a bit too fast. Do you use design patterns? Of course, you can't escape design patterns. I have a whole book. I have this book right here that's all about design patterns. Honestly, this company should like... Oh, man, I'm basically unofficially sponsored by it. But yeah, you can't escape design patterns. Especially when there's like useful case scenarios. There's always a thing to be cognizant about, which is like over designing sometimes. That's an easy thing to fall into. But you know, I'd rather have a tool in my pocket than not have that tool. So we have light model, we have no. Wait. I'm lost now too, guys. I'm a little lost. I got a little disoriented there. Okay, point light process. Okay, we're gonna do this thing. Like, I should theoretically just make a separate cgen file for this, but we're not gonna do that. We're above doing that. So we're just gonna do this cool thing so I can visually just see when I get to a major part of the code base, which is like, do this and be like, all right, light data type implementation. And then make it a little bit prettier. And then voila. And then we have light process. We have this light model point light process. And then I can make a duplicate of this for the line light process and so on and so forth. And this should be, yep. Cool. Also, that keyboard can be an ASMR video, not gonna lie. Yeah, probably. I'm gonna consider doing that at some point, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'll do an ASMR video. I don't know. How'd you go about if learning code? Just building projects, man. Building projects. That's how we do. What are you building? I'm building a new lighting model pipeline so we can have some more dynamic types of light sources. Yeah, I'll show it in a second. If we can get this working, because I feel like we're on the cusp of making this work, we should be golden. Are we using the math library I have here? I hope we are. Let me try using that. I think include. That's the keyword to use, and then assets. CCDK, no. CCDK, yes, shaders. Yep, math cgenc, nice. So we have extra light stuff, our math library, and then I can go into line light, and we're gonna be changing how we do computations here. I wish I had my camera facing me so I can pull up the whiteboard I have here to do some sketching. But basically we have these 2 points now. Before, the way we calculated like if something should be lit is like we have a direction of the light source, or we have like the center of the light source, right? And then you have other parameters like radius and intensity that determines whether or not we include it. And then beyond that point, then we check to see like how far away is the surface of an object from this light source. And it's a very simple thing. And then like the closer it is, the more intense we use the lights should be. And then the further away is the less intense. The closer it is, the more intense, the further away, less intense. And we just multiply the color of it and then apply it to this general light thing total we have here. But now we have 2 light sources and we were trying to make a line between them. So the thing that's going to fundamentally change here is that we're no longer just using the center. We instead have to find the closest point from this fragment on this line, and we're going to use that for the calculation instead. So relatively simple, especially since I have a function that should do that. We're going to see how well that works though. Panda 3D and Python, not really. I know I've used like pandas for like graphing stuff. Well, there's math. No, I use matplot.lib or something. Yeah, and I did some pandas things for something else, but nothing beyond that, sadly. Catnip. What's up, Catnip? Good to see you, man. How did you go about learning code? Projects. It's a lot of projects. In a Fallout terminal. If you want a Fallout terminal, here we go. That's a Fallout terminal. That's a Pip-Boy right there. That's how it's meant to be. Direction. Closest. Is this actually more helpful for me than? Am I actually like enjoying this? Does this feel easier on my eyes than? That'd be crazy if this is the case, but it kind of feels like it. Wow. Is this how we're gonna spend the rest of the stream? Did you just like poison my brain with that suggestion? If so, thank you. What am I looking for? I'm looking for data. Yeah, light data. And then no. Okay, I actually need to see. Tragic. And then we're gonna swizzle it with YWZ or YZW. Why is it not working? You should just work. Oh, because there's this then maybe? Oh, we have to index into it. My bad. And then we should be able to do YZW. Schwizzle. You're still not happy. Why are we not happy? You take into float 3. Oh, we need to have a reference point, yeah. So we just need a world space. I think world space position. I think. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, we use world position. Okay, so I'm assuming this is in world position. We might have to convert this to world position. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Looks like writer. Yeah, it's writer. It's an IBM Model M keyboard and Vim Motions, baby. Yeah, you got it right, David. Pro goes burr. I mean, desktop is Atari or what? Love the setup. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. So I'm pretty sure that I have a bug here. I'm doing something wrong. I can try to fix it, or we do the more entertaining thing and we just let it be wrong and just see what kind of weird, fantastical, fun bug we run across. And yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. I think the fix would be converting this into world space, because I'm pretty sure this is not. Maybe it's a world space point. I don't know. We're just gonna let it rock. We're gonna let it rock. And we're still having some compile errors. So what is going on here, buddy? What's going on here? Why are you unhappy? What ails you, brother? Unsigned reference to collider. These are CPU errors, not shader errors. Okay, we're just gonna. Okay, now there's shader errors. What's going on here? 12. What's the issue at line 12? In math C, Gen C. What's going on here? That should not be the problem. That works fine. It's probably a duplicate read. Yeah, redefinition issue. Yeah, it's an error of redefinition within these shaders. Oh, that's easy. That's an easy fix. Yeah, we just have to get rid of this math reference. That's easy. For which, okay, so which shaders are having that redefinition? Surface, surface, surface. Oh, brother, I just want to be able to click into it and just... Okay, you know what? We're going to do this instead. We are going to... Because I think it's going to be faster and easier to just get rid of this and just remember to include it in the places that need it. I think that would be significantly less errors. Okay. Unassigned reference exception. Okay, that we can fix that. That's easy. I don't know why that's happening, but whatever. If collider equals null, return. This shouldn't have anything running in editor though. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. We'll deal with that later. Is Unity, so dots or HLS? Yeah, we're using HLS. Not doing dots though. How do you get better at coding like this? It's the most counterintuitive thing. It's the most counterintuitive thing, but like I hate, I'm gonna say this because it used to make me mad too. It's like you have to get a job and work with someone who's dull. Okay, I'm not saying you have to. There's a bunch of ways of doing it. This is how it worked for me. Get hired for a job that you're a bit underqualified for. Have someone super knowledgeable there, or be surrounded by people who are knowledgeable and just gobble up as much information from them as you work. This is how I feel like I became an actual programmer, not just some like a scripter. But beyond that, like if you're not in that position, which makes perfect sense, I wasn't in that position either. The next best thing is I like filling your gaps in the unknown unknowns and working on a bunch of projects. Like try to do something that seems really outside of your wheelhouse, and like if you fail, fine. Like trying to make a game engine, that's hard for most people. Yeah, it's hard even for experienced people. It takes time, right? But just trying to do that, you'll learn. I guarantee you're going to learn something of interest. Depending on where your skill level is too. Like that's probably should specify that too. Like before you do that, you should probably learn like basic programming. You should probably learn what data types are and that kind of thing. But aside from that, you know, aside from that, doing that and then reading, finding good like material, not even books necessarily, like good blogs from programmers who are very knowledgeable. You can get a lot of information from that. Yeah, this is gonna do something. Also, okay, you're next to each other. That's what's going on here. How do you deal with being stupid at everything you start feeling? So that's called learn helplessness. First of all, it's okay to be stupid. I'm not gonna. So other people would say, "Hey, you're not stupid, though. Don't call yourself that." And here's the thing, right? Like I felt stupid. I felt super stupid when I started programming. I felt super out of my depth, like most of my career. Only like this past year. Keep in mind, I've been programming for like 10, 15 years, technically speaking. Only now do I feel somewhat competent. And even then, I don't even really feel super competent. But that's a different thing, right? So like, it's okay to feel dumb. It's okay to feel stupid. Everyone feels like that. And here's the thing, right? Like, you can be correct in your assessment of not having that skill. That's fine. It's just a matter of, all right, I know I don't have the skill. Clearly I'm out of my depth, or clearly like there's people who are way more knowledgeable than me, and this field has been so mature and there's so much knowledge out there. on the other hand, you have so many resources to start combating that and getting better and getting good, like in Dark Souls, right? Just get good. Like the same applies in programming. Like I didn't know much about, I didn't know what an interface was or why people use it. I was like, I know what an interface technically is. I don't know why people do it. So like, what do? Like maybe you ask some people, but you start finding scenarios where it's useful and try applying it. You know? Okay, this book talks about this strategy pattern. Why is this useful? Why do people use it, right? Like, just don't memorize just information. Because I took a object-oriented class in college, and I passed it with flying colors. And they taught us what virtual functions were. They taught us multiple inheritance. They taught us about what interface and abstract classes were. But I didn't know why we needed to know it. Like, what's the practical purposes of any of these things? And only when I started working, did I start encountering, oh, this is the practical circumstance where you'd want to use this. There's a reason these things exist. And now I'm seeing why people use it. And then I go home and I try to I see like in my project where I can use these things and try to apply it. And then I went from one extreme of over applying it, using it for everything. And then now I feel like I'm more at a healthy balance of like, we only use these things when it actually makes sense to use them. But yeah, so it's okay. Like what's that like martial arts thing? Like it's okay to be weak. It's just not okay to stay it. You know, you have things you can work on. You have ways of targeting that. You have tools and resources to get good. Thankfully, it's not like in the 80s or 90s where you may want it to get good at programming, but like your resources were like either a book that may or may not be out of date, or you know, you happen to just know someone who knows some information about it. And that's like, if you're lucky. Like, thankfully, there's actually thankfully, there's a lot more opportunities for getting better. What's going on here? Cool stuff, thank you. It is Unity. Yes, it is Unity. Cozy, don't miss. I feel like I miss sometimes. I feel like what I'm telling you makes sense. I'm hoping it makes sense for you in practice. That is my hope. I don't want to like, is this gonna break things? Utilities. I might just be breaking things. I don't know. And also, don't be scared of breaking things. Like, I don't know why, but as like when I was more junior in programming, I used to be super paranoid about doing that, and you start realizing that, hey, actually you're gonna be breaking things a lot, and just getting comfortable with things being broken and figuring out how to fix it is just a good thing. As long as you have Git, like, you should be fine to deal with this stuff. Yeah, everything has this math stuff defined in it, so maybe we just leave this and, like, what is this using? Dirt map, shader, and then we have our standard surface, I think. Do we have our surface functions here? Where does this happen? Okay, we're just gonna have to do something here. But yeah, you just gotta get comfortable in the brokenness, man. How's the CRT serving you? It's serving me really great. I'm enjoying it. It makes life great. Yeah, AI is not great. Your shader's been pink this whole time. I think you're good. No. Oh, has it? Is this just from the fog? Is this just from the fog? No, it's not from the fog, because it should update an editor as I zoom into stuff. Yeah, no, everything. It should be, if it was fog, it'd be... And the shader preview wouldn't be pink either, so definitely a skill issue right now. We're having a little bit of a skill issue, guys. And what's the issue here? Unexpected token case. Oh, so this is a syntax problem. Okay, now this is actually just a skill issue thing. So we're using a switch statement in HLSL, and I assumed it works the way it should, but maybe the syntax is different? Let's verify this. Yeah, verify. HLSL switch statement. Or maybe I'm just missing one case, but I'm pretty sure HLSL switch statements should be... Oh, did I just misspell it? Is that what's going on here? No, I did switch case point, break case line, and then case 2, which should be cone, but either way, the syntax should be the same. Simple HLSL switch statement, that's what I know. Case switch, input, case. Okay, so I feel like my syntax is right. Unless they require a default, but that'd be dumb. That would be pretty dumb. Yeah, break, case, yeah, I'm not crazy. Don't make me think I'm crazy here. Compiler. Fog of the mind. This is my dream. Hey, you can make it happen, man. You can make it happen. This stuff is super cheap. The converter from HDMI to component is pretty cheap. You can find a nice... I got that VHS player, which is conditioning the power for this correctly, for like $5. You can live this. This is not only mine. Point light process. What's the error here? What's the issue? Is it because I don't have a default case? Yeah, default case. Well, how about this? You don't have any teeth. Pow. Yeah, I don't... That shouldn't fix anything. Or I'd be very mad if that fixes things. That'd be very weird and wrong in my mind. So we're just gonna change one line, save it, go back to Unity. Fresh new errors. Love it, love to see it. Syntax error. Unexpected case at line 226. Okay, line 226. What's unexpected about this case? I don't understand what's unexpected. What's weird about line? Why are you being weird about my line, dog? She didn't do anything to you. Exhaustive conditions. This is my dream. And that keyboard, IBM Model M. And you too can be a retro dream boat of legend for only one installment of $599.99. Call today. Single quotes are missing? Wait. There's no shot I have to use single quotes for integer primitive in HLSL. That would make me irrationally mad if I have to. Well, also, no. So, like, wrong file. The error is at 226. It's in this case in particular. Like, this case is fine with GR code. Oh, I'm dumb. I have a bracket here. Oh my goodness, guys. It was just a bracket this entire time. It was just a bracket. Don't you hate to see it, but you also love to see that it's at least something simple like that, and not some weird language quirk. Yeah, you don't belong here. You don't belong here either. Okay, so now we go back and hey, I see something that's actually looks like geometry. Oh my goodness, we're back to the land of the living. And do we have our point lights working at least? Please tell me point lights are working. Oh, they're not working. Where are you? Why do you hurt me? Okay, you got reset to a radius of like 0. That's fine. That's easy. That's an easy fix. First of all. Yep. And then please reset. Please do the thing. Yeah, there we go. You popped up. And then let's look at our 2-point line. This is the moment of truth. This is the make or break. This is either I'm a legend or I am a glue sniffer. There's no in-betweens here. We either receive... Well, this is wrong. Why do I have radius? Oh, I know. I should have radius. Let's do 50. And then in position to be like 1 or 2. Let's do like 3 units. Okay. We save. Oh, please. Okay, we have a light. We have a singular light. Let's make our radius a little bit smaller. Let's make it like 10. Okay, let's make it like 3. And let's make it an intensity of like... Yes, it's very obvious. So, okay. This is weird. Hi, what's going on? I'm sorry, guys. I got zoned in for a second, man. My bad. Foes double-clicking the error, not take you to the line shader error. You could. No, it doesn't. In shaders, it doesn't usually do that. And there's a programmer, Yep. I can't get over that monitor. If there's a bigger one somewhere, I'll get it. There's chunkier ones. You can find ones. Where the 4K CRT monitors at? That would be insane, dude. There was, what was that? 1 second, we're gonna get side tangent. Huge Japanese CRT. There's like a picture of this lady standing next to it. Yeah, this joint. This is what we need, guys. This is what we need to get here. All cathode ray tube, 0 eye strain. What more can you ask for? This is a peak. This would be this whole... I would have to get rid of the speakers. My desk would break. It would be beautiful. This is what we need to do, man. I wonder if someone tracked that CRT down. Okay, and I know why this is not working. It's because I didn't... Hey, guys, you realize, like, to execute code, you have to actually execute the code. You have to call the function, right? Isn't that a crazy little feature about programming, that to use a function, you have to use a function? I didn't realize I had to do that. I thought the function just works as advertised for 3 payments of $5.99.99, but apparently you actually have to call it. Okay. Am I screwed here? Is this, maybe it's not passing in the data, because this is being adjusted, but it's not I think it's not passing the data. I think that's what's actually going on here. Let me make sure. Let's check. No, it should be passing the data. It should be passing the data. Thank you, Dev Null. I'm glad you did the setup, man. What game we were making, I'm gonna show you. Now that we have our shaders working for the most part. You've been motioned right past it. Yep. I'm using Rider with Vim Motions. I also use i3 for my window manager. The player sprite is broken. All right, guys. We're getting rid of sprites. We just have quads now. That's all you need in life. This is all a gamer needs. And also, we don't have our point lights here. So that's a little scary. So that tells me that data isn't being serialized, which explains why some of the fields got reset. Ow. That's an editor issue. Okay. Well, that's an easy fix. And as for the player sprite, which seems to be broken, where's that shader? Yeah, point light process cannot. Oh, interesting. Can I convert output parameter float to float 4, line 68? Uncozy sprite. Here we go. So it should be. What? What file is this? Cozy sprite shader. Yeah. Okay, so this is okay. So yeah, you're just you're suffering from a little thing called the skill issue. It's okay. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. What is the game you're developing? I'm making a game called, I don't know, Messy Mansion or Stain World or something, and it's a game where you clean up the world, and it's kind of a speed running kind of thing. And you're trying to save your counterpart Hearth, and it's gonna be great. Ain't got no gas in it. It just ain't got no gas, man. It was just that simple. Till Rust catches up enough to be used in UI and Unity. Oh, dude. I'm gonna be real with you, Chief, man. I used to be a Rust head. No more. No more. In fact, in my Discord, I think I have certified Rust hater. It'd be cool if there's options, but like I feel like what's gonna end up happening is that they're just gonna have bindings being made if they do that at all. I don't know if Unity or Unity or Unreal are gonna do that, unless they've announced they're gonna do that. But that'd be kind of crazy. But I'm not sure how well their architecture is gonna work for having like this whole set of bindings for Rust code to interop with it. Well, it'd be cool because I know Godot is doing that, and that's like pretty gnarly. That you have the option of like, hey, you can just use whatever language you want, man. We love it, yep. Hey, Uzo Aku. Nice to see you. Also, TJ, what's going on? Message retracted. But I see you, and I appreciate you. It's so purple. That's not looking too good. I mean, it's a testing. Either that or there's a shader error, but I think the background should be correct. I think that's just the fog testing scene. What am I doing? We have the line working. Oh yeah, data serialization. That's what we're doing. My data isn't getting serialized. And that's no good. And I think it's just a simple thing of like, yeah, on scene GUI. Oh no, that's just for enabling fog and stuff. What? Okay, that's significantly weird. Let's just verify what we have going on here for our custom light editor. So we have the same parameter for radius. And then light data, we set light data X in the source. Radius 2. Do that too. In fact, I should just probably have radius be a unified parameter. So we can just do this and then recycle the same thing. Let's not be lazy. Let's actually be a little bit cleanly. And then we have this vector. So we have this input here for radius. We have this input field for the vector, the end position, that we... Yeah, this is the current value. If we swizzle, that's why we swizzle. And then we pack it into the vector 4. We set the data. And then life should be good. We should be good in life. Why are we not good in life? Cthulhu. Since drivers are all becoming Rust based, I feel like they're gonna dabble, but we won't see nothing for years, even if they do make the change. Yeah. We shall see. We shall see. And I appreciate it, Cam. Yeah, we got something cooking. I believe we got something cooking. There's a reason I made this game in a cave with a box of scraps. There's a reason we did it. It's because I think it's sick. So we just got to make it. We have to get rid of enough of the schmutz so the rest of the world can see it. And then I don't know where we go from there. Do we have to mark this as dirty to make sure this serializes properly? I don't like that, but it might be the case. Because like what other editor scripts I have Well, let's just go through the line. So we have this data. We modify the current data in here, which is cool. Maybe the fact that it's non-serialized. Maybe it's because of that. It's non-serialized. It should be serialized. It just shouldn't be hide in inspector. That's what I needed. That's probably what's happening. We're putting the data, but it's not serialized, so it's not getting saved. Like, this doesn't have to be subject tag because we were supplying that position every frame on runtime and an editor. But this is not the same case. We actually want to set the data, cache it, and leave it. We just don't want to show it in inspector. Okay, I think that was the problem. And that's why when we go into play mode, it disappears. Oh. How many years it has been for you been developing this game? Just probably like a year. Programming like a decade at least. But only like professionally, the only past like 4 or 5 years. Yeah, okay, so this should be good now, I think. Yeah, so the data got reset. That's fine. We expect it to happen. We expected it to happen. We did bad. We did bad things, but it's okay. We can recover from doing bad things. And we provide like, I don't know, 8 on the x-axis. And now we have a line drawn there. Maybe modify this a little bit. And we do the Darth Vader no scream because it's not working still, but hey, we're something. It's something. And then we just have to verify that this at least works in play mode. When we press play, it's just gonna work. Yeah, we have to have a thing. Radius doesn't update this in real time, but other things do. Okay, we save the scene, and now this should at least be visible in play mode. And do UI toolkit custom inspector. It's the future of gaming. Wait, Rust is? Have a strong Vim and Emacs opinion at this point. Yeah, I'm very much a Vim guy. Honestly, I don't have any opinion on why one is better than the other. It's just that Vim is the one I've been using, so out of convenience, it is the one I've grown accustomed to, and because I happen to use that, it's the reason why I'm morally superior to Emacs users, and those people are morally depraved, and they're really just the crux of everything wrong in society. But I'm not a hater, you know. I accept that, you know, people have the right to choose Emacs versus Vim, and that's fine. And I don't have any strong opinions because people can use what they want to use. It's just, you know, people just have the freedom to be wrong, you know? People just have the freedom to be wrong. No, I know absolutely nothing about Emacs. And I'm kind of scared because I already paid to learn Vim. There's a cost, an upfront cost to using it, to learning how to use it. And I've already paid that cost. So the potential of doing that again with Emacs for unknown benefits, I don't know. I'd have to learn more about it and do that cost benefit analysis. Imagine if a vegan used Vim. I mean, they have the same kind of thought process, man. Same as the char like yellow. Make the spear char color same as the char like yellow. I'm trying to understand. About combat or adventure, it's about speedrunning, cleaning things up. Cleaning up the world. And there's combat, and there you have to beat bosses and stuff. But the main focus, I really want to have it to be focused on like cool environments. Maybe some character NPC stuff. Yeah, there's something cool about 3D games that 2D games just don't have. I mean, they do, but it's very different. The sense of space and the ooh, that's a new bug. You saw that bug? Did you saw that bug? Wait, can I how did I do that bug? Now I kind of want to. Okay. Okay. So we have a new bug, guys. I should probably document this and put it in the Discord so someone. That's crazy. Yeah, someone. Yeah, I need to put this in the Discord so I don't forget it. But yeah, we have a flight bug now. We have a Peter Pan bug. If I jump, it gets rid of it. Okay, so it's not the end of the world, but that's funny. Facts. I've always done 3D as soon as I could. Yeah, 3D is super cool. I love 2D games. Don't get me wrong. But there's something about the space of 3D that's super interesting, and which is why I'm kind of super harping over rendering and having a bunch of options for lighting. Which reminds me, my lighting is bad and it doesn't work. Actually, let's just verify that that's the case too. But at least we fixed that. And let me play around with the parameters, because maybe it is working. It's just I did something weird. Like maybe the local space stuff is just not working as intended. Yeah, having intensity be able to be that big is not desirable. So there's something for sure weird going on. This is for sure happening. There's something odd going on here. Because when I move this up, the point of the lighting is no longer showing up correctly over there. But if I move it here and then maybe, I don't know, modify this a little bit, it all of a sudden becomes kind of crazy. It becomes fine again. So I'm trying to understand what is going on here and why I'm wrong. I think that's the biggest thing. Is I'm wrong. I just don't understand why I'm wrong. But before we move on, let's at least save our progress, because we at least got the game visible and working again. So add all. We're gonna commit. Fixed. Repaired. Lighting I broke. Push us to origin. We should hear a ding in the Discord. Oh, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. That's very sad. I wanted that dopamine. Oh, because I'm in streamer mode. I was like, huh, it's very quiet. Oh my goodness, so many people joined the Discord. Hello. Hello. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to gather you here. No, I didn't gather you, but yeah. Oh, that's a cool little gift, though. I dig it. All right, make yourself cozy. We'll just say that. Make yourself cozy. Oh, brother. So yeah, so definitely some skill issues. Oh, another. Wait, where did you go? Bam. Oh, that's a sick profile. Cody said that I'll later consider trash. Yep, that's just life. That's just kind of how we are, man. That's just the cycle we have to deal with, and it's okay. We gotta love trash. If you want a keyboard while looking like a for real wizard, you gotta learn Vim or Emacs. Yep, you gotta. You gotta do it. Is it multiplayer? I'm thinking about maybe doing online co-op, but haven't decided on that. UI toolkit workflow? No, I haven't done that. It's pretty dope. You can also, I've seen really cool stuff with the UI toolkit for Unity. Yeah, I don't know. It seems really cool and powerful. At the same time, I really like the ethos of not having to leave my keyboard to do stuff. And I like the idea that I can just create UI without just purely through code. And if I could, I'd want to have an editor that just is purely this. Like, that's the reason why, by the way, do you know I'm making a game engine? You guys know I'm making a game engine, right? Have I mentioned my game engine at all? Have I mentioned the game engine? But yeah, the whole ethos of this engine is that I want to be able to, like, navigate and move through. I want to be able to modify and design levels and do basic engine stuff while using Vim motions. Like, you know, I can navigate, move around. I can select what tiles or objects I want to place in the scene. You know, so when I have these tiles here, I can place them wherever it makes sense to me. I can place them here, here. If I want to place it in the foreground, we can do this and this. If I want to put it in the background, I can do a little bit of this. And then I can just press play, and it just works the way I want it to. And I need to fix it because I'm trying to make it work consistently across a bunch of different platforms. So I've broken the delta time stuff, but that's for another stream. Or maybe I'll just do that in my spare time because that's kind of not super fun, honestly. But yeah, I like my keyboard, man. I don't know what to tell you. I just like my keyboard. It just feels right. What is going on here? Oh yeah, I made a new console, didn't I? Line process. Suffering from skill issues. Oh, you know what? I think, oh my goodness. I'm doing an early return. I'm doing early returns. So when I'm checking to see if it's closer or too far away from the radius, we're like leaving prematurely. We're returning prematurely. And that's probably, well, what's going on here? This should not, oh, because I'm adding I copied a bracket. Yeah. So I'm using like, is point leaving? Yeah, that's fine. I'm also using, I'm using p distance from the first point, not the closest point. Oh. Light data index dot radius. Yep. And that was, I think that's the issue of why the point light isn't working as intended. And okay, we've done some stuff. No, but I think that's one issue at the very least. But we're still suffering. We're still suffering. They played us like a damn fiddle. Yeah, I wish this would like update the gizmos or trigger the on draw thing, but it's not. It's very odd. Okay, that's one potential. That was one vector of errors. Just clearly another one's going on. But I'm sorry, what's going on here? Bro is not in 2002 AI suck, bro. We like the pain. Yeah, it sucks, but can today coders can do that? Yes, I tried, but I don't have interest. We are finishing too early. Yes, but I feel like I'm stumbled into a conversation that I just kind of lost the first context of. Most of the time, unless you have to make a small game like a clicker. Yo, my boy, that's crazy. No AI coding? Nah, no AI coding, all right? Off the dome and off Google. No programmers in Island. At some point, everything comes from Google, but hey, off the dome and Google. And just doing the best we can with what we got. Doing the best we can with what we got. Dot product direction, world normal. Yep, that's for surface stuff. Intensities, value. It's from there. Intensities. This is all correct so far. It's looking correct to me. Is lit, intensity, point luminance, point color composite. Closest point online. I'm kind of scared that this function isn't working the way it should be. And if it's not, then that means that there's something fundamentally wrong in terms of how I calculate it. In which case, we're going to have to use some math. Line direction, to normalize delta between line N and start. So we get a vector, direction vector. We have the reference point minus the line start. So we have a vector from the reference point to the start of a line. So an arbitrary selection, let's say the point's here, it's gonna be there. And then a dot product between this and that. And then you have a dot product between these two. So we see how aligned or different they are. So in this case, it would be like a 0. And then if it's 0, we do line start plus 0, okay, yeah, plus line direction. Okay, so that seems to make sense. The calculation for closest point on a line. And then we have this other function here, shorted distance to line, which does another type of computation for this. Or I think I tried doing another computation, but it was just way not as effective. But let's try using shorted distance to line and just see how that works. Maybe there's a reason both these guys exist. What's going on here? Writing some stuff. How do I even get started coding? I've tried watching Python beginners course and I can't hang. I mean, what do you want to do? Let's start there, man. Because I think motivation is half the battle, right? Like if you want to do X, but you're watching tutorials for B things, then like it'll be hard to get super down with the language if you're not excited about like what you can do with it. You don't have to be excited about the language. You just have to be excited about a goal you want to do, and then this language is going to be your vehicle to that goal. And like a programming goal, not a goal of, hey, my programming goal is I want to get $5,000 every day. Yeah, where can I get like a job where I do that? Like that's not the goal. Something just for fun that you enjoy, like hey, making a little text adventure game or something, or an ASCII thing. I don't know. Something that's like that, like it's directly tangible in the immediate. I think that's a good place to start. Doing Java coding and it's fun. Hey, that's what I'm talking about, Calvin. Java's pretty good. About vectors and matrices recently because I want to do OpenGL. Yeah, you can't escape it. But Pigeon, it wasn't as scary as you thought, right? Like, am I safe to say that? Because that was my experience. When I started using, I thought vectors and matrices were really the craziest, scariest things in the world, and it turns out it's actually not that crazy or scary. It's actually pretty decent. It's pretty decent, man. Light process, sunlight process. Let's go here and let's go to line process and see what we're doing. So we're going to use a different function here. We're going to use closed. What did I call it? What was it called in the math library? Get rid of the fog zone. Don't need it. Shorted distance. That was the function I called it. Really shorted distance. Yeah. And we're gonna see if this works or not. Yep. Okay. Please tell me you're gonna do something cool this time. I'm not seeing anything cool, which means life is sad. Life is tragic. Life is just a series of disappointments. I was never cut out to be a programmer. Mama was right. I should have gone back to the farm. Hay couldn't hurt me this way. Your camera is glitching. It just turned into, yeah, it happens from time to time. Are scarier than you think. Yeah, quaternions are wild. It was even fun. I never had it in school. It was fun because I had a use case. Exactly. Use cases are super important. It's easier than beginner Python for me. It really is. Especially like if you're not using something like PyCharm to protect you from yourself, then statically typed languages, I'm telling you, it's beautiful. People think they don't want static types. They're wrong. They use static types save lives. I remember crying and breaking down in high school because static types hurt me so badly. How you're dealing with the monitor? It's not bad. How? You just do it, man. it takes is I take in caffeine, take a big poop, and go to bed, and somewhere in the middle, I make commits. Yep. It's my fast time experience as senior dev code so fast. It's my first first time. That's cool. Shofinha, that's the funniest thing I've heard all day. Yep. It's called VinMotion. It's beautiful. Yeah. It's whatchamacallit? What am I doing? I just got like so much information, dude. But yeah, dude. It's pretty chill. It's pretty chill. I actually don't really take caffeine. I'm very intolerant to caffeine, so we just, for the longest time, we raw dog life. We just use water. We just use water. That's all you need. You just need some water, man. You just need some water. Yeah, static typing is great. Static typing is great. Love to see it. Okay, I say I'm a Rust hater, but there's actually a lot of things about Rust I like. I like the way they handle primitives, defining it based off the bits. And I want an I32. I want a U32. I want a U8. I want an F64. That's beautiful, man. The brand is a Magnavox. The brand of the monitor is a Magnavox. It's a color display 40. Also, I realize I'm not having chat be displayed for whatever reason. I don't know why this is not working. I have a thing to display chat on the overlay and it's not doing it. I don't know why. Restream.io has betrayed me. You turned her against me. You turned her against me. Yeah, I have to deal with this later. Or maybe I just have to recopy and paste the thing. We'll see. Oh, is it token based? I don't even know. I don't know why this is not working. I tried my hardest. It's okay. Chat will be forever lost, I guess. I'm sorry, y'all. I'll try to fix it sometime. What's the 90s setup? What do you mean what's not with the 90s setup, man? Dude, what's with the 4K LED setups you guys have out here nowadays? Your monitors operate at more than 60 hertz per second? Like, ew, gross. Dude, that's too much, man. Honestly, we're spoiled. We need to go back to this, guys. Return back to the data. Return back to 640. I can do, this is 640 by 480. I could do 800 by 600. I just choose not to. This is a choice, man. This is a lifestyle. The same way having weird bugs is a lifestyle for me right now. Because, geez, why is this not working? Position should be in world space position. Yes, this is all world space position. I am right in my knowledge of this. So I am not wrong. It is the world that is wrong. And why this is not... Okay, we're going to do something even simpler. What are we going to do, actually? We'll do min. About Java or different one, Cozy Cabin Games. I use C#, which is basically Microsoft Java. It's all the same stuff. And they're becoming more similar. Java is doing a lot more updates to have their syntax be more terse and more compact and not so verbose. They're trying to do what C# did, what Microsoft did in 2008. i3. I use i3 for my window manager, Pigeon. It's beautiful. Look at this. Look at this. It's nice. I also have my configs on GitHub, so if you guys want to try doing this for your own Linux setup, like, it's there. My i3, my PyCom stuff. Heck, I think even my color theme. I don't know. I have to check. C# is basically Java, man. Is editor using Rider? It's Rider from IntelliJ, or not IntelliJ, it's from JetBrains. So we're going to do something here. We're going to, instead of doing the shortest distance, we're going to just get rid of this. We're going to start something simpler. Let's just make sure that our point calculations are actually correct. So we're just going to do, I don't know. how are we gonna do this? We have these 2 points. We want to find the closest one and then select it based off of that. So we're gonna just do some ugly branching conditional code here. Don't get mad at me. We'll clean this up later. Functional first, beautiful, and performant later. Sometimes you gotta get things working. Sometimes you just gotta do that. Does this support ternary operators? I hope it does. It should. If world point distance, world position, my bad. Ew, why did I choose such a verbose word? A is smaller than B distance. We're gonna use A, otherwise we use B. So basically if A is closer to the point than B, we use A, otherwise we use B. And we're just gonna use this simple thing to test to see if our 2-point thing is rendering correctly at least. And that's gonna be some insights into what might be the issue here. Because the issue may very well be that data is just not being passed correctly. And it seems that that's probably what's going on here actually. Because this is A, this is B, but only one of them is being lit completely. I know what's going on. And the worst part is we probably had this working at some point. Like it was correct. It's just that we didn't do the data. Brother. Okay. We just didn't pass the type of data. So it's processing everything like a point light, not as a, yeah. I'm sorry. What game is that? All right, let me catch up in chat. Sorry, guys, for being a little focused there. Have you ever tried using AI to fix bugs? Kind of, and it's just not great. It's kind of a liability, I find to be in most cases. I'm doing Java, not good. Hey, but you're getting better, and that's the most important thing, all right? It's okay to not be great. It's just, it's bad to stagnate. But you're getting better, you're working on it. That's great. I'm glad to hear that, man. I can watch this all night. I'm glad, Padro. I'm glad. It's kind of wild to me because this is my day in and day out. So it's cool that people enjoy watching it. What game is that? So let me show you the game. And it should be working. So we're not going to do the fixes yet. I'm just going to press play and let you guys see it. In fact, let me just go on. Instead of pressing play, I'll just go pull up the video again. And for the guys who are hanging out here, apologies if I get a bit redundant repeating stuff, but I don't know. I think it's fine to like post stuff. I like showing some of the work we've done. Yeah, this is the game we're currently making, and an old version of the lighting model that didn't have the cool sprite rim lighting effects. And basically, you're able to clean up the world. You're cleaning up stuff. That's the main gameplay of the game. There's so many early photos of this. It's kind of crazy. Like when we first designed the map. Yeah, that was cool. But yeah, that's the game we're working on. I'm gonna do a write up this week in Discord with progress we've done, and what's your favorite language? I'm learning Rust. Rust used to be really cool to me. It's not my favorite, but there's still a lot of things I enjoy about Rust, and honestly, I kind of prefer Rust over a bunch of other languages for particular use cases. Right now, though, C# is my main. It's my main squeeze. I use it all the time. It's my go-to. C++ is fun. I'm enjoying it. There's some things that are rough about it. Maybe I'll try out Zig one day. I don't like Odin. It's not my cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea. But outside of that, yeah. And then, I don't know, HLSL is fun. I love doing shader coding. That's always cool. Where is the script I'm looking for? I'm looking for the light config thing. Cozy light settings, here we go. No, that's not it. Oh, actually, maybe it is. Yeah, this is it. So the issue was that we have this field for the type, light data type, but we're never setting it. So in this big switch statement we have, if I can find it. Yeah, here. We're always doing the yeah, we're always doing this case. We're always treating every light source as a point light, even when it's supposed to be a line light. So we just have to make sure that our game actually, that we pass in that data of the type of light we're using. And that would fix probably most of the bugs. And we'll be good. And then we can like test that. That's purely GPU code. So we can just test it while running the game, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be so cool. Here, just wanted to automate configs. I feel that. On Writer, I'm using Writer. What about Python? Python is like... Python should be used for what it was made for, which is scripting. Scripts that do a particular thing, a little thing, and that's it, right? Whenever Python goes beyond just a single line, like a single script, and becomes like requires architecture, that's when I'm like, all right, that's when we use a real, I'm not gonna say a real language, we use a more statically typed language. I'll say that. But if you're like, I like Python for doing basic scripting stuff. I use it in my game engine for iterating through all the sprites and making a dynamic C++ file, so that I don't have to remember the names. I can just have IntelliSense tell me what images I have available to me to work with, but it's very different. Like the computer, it's just a normal computer. It's I have a 5060 in this bad boy. We have, and NV top. Like we're running like some modern hardware here, so it's not like we're all retro. Just the peripherals are retro. Like everything in the peripherals is from the 80s. Outside of that, the brains of the operation is actually still very much modern. I use shader graph. Only time I use HLSLs for custom nodes. I mean, shader graph, nothing wrong with shader graph, dude. You don't have to feel shame about it. I just like HLSL because A, it's faster for me in terms of typing, and then B, I can do a bit more complex stuff like the CGen-C file stuff. But you can kind of do the same thing in shader graph with the HLSL node that they have going on there. So yeah, no shame in the game, man. No shame in the game. I don't like material graphs. I feel like coding the actual shader logic is way more intuitive, and then you can do some fun stuff with it. But yeah, no shame in the game, man. No shame in the game. Don't need this anymore. Don't need this anymore. This light editor. Hopefully we don't need this anymore, but I'm not sure. Don't need this anymore. Here we are. So you have to add this new field. Oh, that's what I was doing. I was looking for a field. Yeah, there's this. Yeah, light type. This data, we need to populate it. So that's the big issue here. And that should be relatively easy. So we add that. We have a register light. Well, that's part of data already too, so we just have to... Is it? No, it's not. So we have to do... We have to also add another field here. That should be pretty easy. All right, I'm gonna catch up with chat in a second. 1 second, guys. To the types, and then we go down here into where we update stuff. Equals point light data dot type, and then we have to cast it to an integer because they're not interruptible, and then we just have to update this as well, and we should be gravy train, I'm thinking. And then we're gonna see what happens here. What's up, Lee Kith? Good to see you here. Is your computer case 80s too? I wish. I should have done it. It's a sleeper. I should do that. Watch, I'm literally replacing Ansible configs at work with Chef. You used to said a lot of words I don't even know. I know configs. I don't know Ansible. I don't know Chef. The most I know is Jenkins, but that's a different thing, probably. Why Chef over Ansible? I hired a principal engineer on my team who works for Chef. Okay, it is. I like a real-time feedback iteration loop mostly. I'm a knob twister. Ah, okay, I got you. I suppose he built it with the original team and supported it for like 13 years till I got bought out. Okay, that's sick. A large Python app at work with a lack of static types is one of the biggest source of dumb time-wasting bugs. Yup. That is what made me very sad as a youngin. I remember having not the same thing, but kind of the same thing. I remember working on GameMaker Studio, which uses GML, which doesn't have any static typing at all. And I recall having this bug that I just could not find the source of. And it was 100% due to that. And I remember breaking down and crying. And my mom came to my room and she found me crying. And she's like, what's going on? And I was like, I can't fix this bug. And she was like, oh, do we need to buy better software or something? And I was like, no, Mom, there's no amount of money that can fix the stupidity I've done here, okay? I can't debug this. I'm sad. I told her I'm going to quit games. I'm going to study computer science, and I'm just going to do it just for the money. That's all I'm going to do it for. There's going to be no joy, no recreation, no game deving, nothing. And things changed. I eventually found C#, and my relationship with programming got repaired. But yeah, dynamic typing languages, trauma. Are you remote? You remote? Yeah, I work remote generally. I'm kind of hybrid, but I just come in whenever I kind of feel like it, and whenever parking's available. Danish company, so kind of like mini ISP. Reason to have dynamic typing. No reason to have dynamic typing. The best architected JS code synthetically enforces. Yeah, like TypeScript. And even then, so the Cozy Cabin Games website, by the way, Cozy Cabin Games, the game studio I'm going to be making all these games under. We have like Discord and a bunch of stuff. This front end here, I did it. I wrote my own TypeScript front end just for fun, just to try something different, to try to have this behave like Unity, so I can code it like Unity. And then I have since promptly abandoned it because TypeScript is nice because you get to pretend you're using C# or some other language. But when you encounter a bug, there's a class of bugs that will emerge that's not due to TypeScript being wrong. It's due to something weird in JavaScript that TypeScript is just not going to be aware of. And when those happen, you're not debugging or going through a stack trace of TypeScript code. You have to go into procedurally generated JavaScript code and figure out what's going on. And that's when you go, okay, I wanted these TypeScripts. I didn't have to have JavaScript knowledge, but now I have to have JavaScript knowledge. So we played ourselves. So that's why that repository hasn't had an update in forever. And why I'm probably going to rewrite it to be like this. Go full Y2K. This is peak what peak web dev looks like. Yeah, promo. We're going to work on that. What about you? What kind of sys stuff do you work on? Oh, I guess you're talking to him. In React, and I hate it. Yep. TC is pretty good. We're fully remote. That's pretty sick. Capitulation. Can you explain what the bug issue was? Did you end up fixing it? Yeah, I found the bug. The bug in terms of the line rendering thing. Well, at least part of it. Or at least I think it should be part of it. Basically, this field that tells you what type we're using, I wasn't passing it to the shader. So the shader didn't have any concept of that, and it wouldn't go into that function call or that switch case. But we're still having some issues here. And I'm trying to figure out what exactly the issue is. If I should be passing the data correctly. And in fact, let's do something blatantly wrong so we can just know. Oh, I didn't set the global variables here either. Ah, there we go. There we go. That's also the other issue. We have point lights. There's gonna be global lights now. We have to set a int array, which I hope is a thing, and it's not, because of course they back integers with floats, because why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you back this with floats? Who wants to have an actual integer? Let's just use floats. And we're gonna use light, or just types. Yeah, type. Okay, we're close, we're close. Types. And we have a moment where we say crap because I made this a float array and not an integer array because I was expecting this to be a reasonable, but that should be fine. I think implicit casts should work fine. Yep, implicit casts just do their thing. Beautiful, life is good. And then now this is gonna, should we recompile? And then hopefully we have 2 balls of light instead of 1. Or some other weird, yeah, yes, we have 2 lights. Yes, that's a bingo. And from there, we can go into this code I did over here. If I can find it. Yeah, here we go. I can get rid of A and B. No more. Actually, no, we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna get rid of this. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. And then this should compile. And it doesn't work. So the other thing is that this might be the function, the original function may have worked. Okay, that's good. It kind of works. It also kind of doesn't. And I know what's going on here. It's because we're doing no bounds on our closest point. So if the t value is beyond less than 0 or beyond the final point, it's just gonna keep doing that. So we just have to we just have to bound it. Yeah, right now this is just projecting completely. We have to add like a little conditional to be like, hey, if this is beyond one of these values, we just use that value. Have you got fob for coding yet? What's a fob? Hoping to get back to fully remote someday. Yeah, we all got fobs here. I run, Jira, Confluence, Sonar. Oh my, okay, now you're starting to trigger me a little bit. You said Jira and I'm already, You got this, man. Just started C++. Let's go, man. Let's go. C++ gang. I'm trying to get good at C++ too, dude. Light is stored in the balls. Yeah, that's a bingo. Yep. You made a Laffy Taffy light. Yeah, we did. I kind of like that. I kind of want to keep that as an option, actually. Have a nice day, guys. Breakfast time. Hey, Pigeon, you get some food? Get that din-din? Not din-din, that breakfast. And hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully it's nutritious. And heck yeah, man. Okay, we just have to we just have to do something. We just have to do like a bind on this. Like literally probably same thing. Rename it to closest point within line. Yeah, very important distinction. Very important distinction. And then this t value, this dot product, because the dot product is only going to tell you, like the AP is like this, and then the line direction is this, and the dot product is going to tell you how aligned it is. So in this case, it'll be 0, and then it'll be more closer to like 1 if it's aligned. So we need to have a way of clamping these values. So maybe we don't have to do a conditional thing. Maybe I could just do a math clamp operation on this, on all the components of this, so it stays within the min and max ranges of the x, y, and z components of these vectors, and life is just good. What's the game about? It's about cleaning stuff. It's about a world that has been consumed by dirt, and your goal is to go through the land, clean it up, and eventually save your other part, your other half, your better half, maybe even. Let me close Miro. Probably gonna open it up soon, anyways, but we're just gonna try to not use it. Let me see that, and I have some videos here of it. Whatever, we can let's inspect how this Laffy Taffy light works. I like the name that you gave it, by the way. That's a great name. Yeah, Cody, everything you're saying is very foreign to me, and it's kind of scary a little bit. You're kind of scaring me a little bit. Oh, look at this. This is such a cool effect, dude. Like, look at that. Look at the black holes that get formed. That's pretty cool. I love the weird jank stuff. Yeah, you clean this kind of stuff. You have this miasma and you clean it from the floor. And you should probably get some cool stuff from doing that. This is actually so cool. I know this is a bug, but I actually kind of want to keep this as an actual option. I'm sure there's somewhere in the game we can use this in some way or some form or fashion. Interesting stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Some Wile E. Coyote, yep. Good day, sir. Are you working on a game? Yes, Kairaz. Or Siraz. And this is the game we're working on. The said game. Ah, dude, this looks so good. And it looks better than like if you were to use just normal Unity surface shaders and normal mapping and stuff like that. Like, you don't get the same smoothing functions. You don't get the same smoothing functions for stuff. Yeah, this is pretty freaking sick. Okay, I'm happy with this. I'm very happy. Let's try to do the limitation thing though. We have reference point, and it's using an absolute vector. It's an absolute vector. And then we have a normalized vector for the line end and start. Oh yeah, we're just gonna do the min-max thing, right? So we're gonna do point equals this. Closest is equal to this. And then we do return. I hope you can do. You should be able to clamp vectors, right? So I can pass in line start, line end. We need the component-wise min and maxes for them, actually. Yeah, we should do that. And then pass in closest. And this is doing what? Thank you. This is very helpful. Yes, in. These inputs are inputs. I want to know which one is the value and which one is the min and max. That's the information I need. You're killing me, man. Do you have a tutorial series on how to get started creating stuff from scratch? No. I mean, if that's desired, though, I'd love to. I'm down to do that. I guess it would just be. Oh, if you're saying from scratch, like raw C++ to. I will say something. If you want to do stuff from scratch in C, this is a very specific thing. There is a series called Handmade Hero, where a guy named Casey Muratori explains how he walks you, like he actually does step by step making a full game in pure C from scratch, no libraries, no graphics APIs, nothing. And you go step by step, and if you pay for the course, you're able to even get the repository at different, like a copy of the code base from each video. It's pretty sick. Beyond that, I'm down to do tutorials because I've done like a lecture on YouTube about like a video lecture about pixel art and techniques and all that kind of stuff and principles. But if there's anything that would be of benefit to people, I'm down to do that. Closest line start. So we have to have our float 3 min, which is going to be the min operation on line start and line end. And then max. I'm hoping this, I don't know what's going to happen actually from this. I have an assumption of what should happen. I'm not sure if it's going to do what I expect it to. So we're just going to find out. Get out of here. I didn't want you. And then I need to figure out if clamp works the way I intended to. We're going to Google real quick. Clamp. HLSL clamp. Because I just want to know what the... No, not math F. I want to use HLSL explicitly. I want me my HLSL. And I don't want to use a clamp node. I want to have the actual function. Shader script. No, I don't want to. I just want to use some basic good old fashioned. Okay, maybe I shouldn't do Unity. I should just do HLSL clamp, and then there's probably some Microsoft doc, and then. Okay, value min max. That's all you need. That's all I needed, baby. And then this should just compile. Let's see here. Do you live stream every day? Not every day, but I've been just live streaming for years, dude. For years. Though I gotta say, this is the first time I've had any, like, this literally 3 days ago is the first time, like, I got any, like, more than, like, 5 people. Like, I've had 5 people in a stream. That was, like, a great day. That was a fantastic day. I was on top of the world, dude. I don't know what happened 3 days ago for the YouTube algorithm to be like, hey, you like CRTs? But yeah, not every day. Usually like 3 or 4 times a week or 2 times a week. I take little breaks too. Maybe not little, significant breaks at times. Hey, the shader's broken. Yay. Why are we broken? Is min-max not a thing? Is min-max not a thing that you can do on vectors? If so, that's going to make me very sad. Min identifier represents a variable, not a function. Oh. Is this a field that's being... Oh, I have I have it. Okay. Yeah, I'm reusing the variable name. Yeah, v min, v max. So it is a function. It's just I was being a little goofy, a little silly. But yeah, what language is this? C#, by the way, Calvin. Sorry, I didn't answer that immediately. Of Hanhei Mihiro, Casey is too smart for me still. Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, you're also starting from like C from C and. Well, he's also like some of these videos you have to rewatch a bunch. Like even setting up your dev environment is kind of a bit involved, and it's still doing the thing. Oh, because I didn't change the function. But yeah, maybe I'll just do like more hand-holdy thing. I don't know. I'm still using graphics APIs though, and honestly, as much as I'm flattered to be considered like an expert just by virtue of me doing coding stuff on stream, I'm still very I'm not a fluent C++ guy. Like the basic syntax and doing memory stuff, that's cool, but I can't say I'm an expert at it to any degree until I've actually like done significant projects and Yeah, like significant projects and utilize like a significant part of like the languages, like using C++ as it's intended. The way I'm using C++ for my game is definitely not the standard. I treat it just like C, just with like maybe function overloading or some other things like that. But there's major stuff that C++, modern C++ that I'm just not using, like unique pointers or whatchamacallit, STL, standard templating, stuff like that. But hey, if you want to do some weird jank, like not standard C++, then I guess we can damage, we can commit thought crimes to people. Do you code for work? Yeah. That's part of the reason I have this monitor, because like I do C# Unity for my day job, 8 hours, and then like, or more than that, and then I come home and I do some more hours of this here, and you gotta do something to spice it up, you know? You gotta spice it up a little bit. I'm not sure why this is still not, oh, because yeah, I didn't change the method with thin line. So that should change things. Do you see what I see, guys? Do you see what I see? We have point lights. We have point lights. We have the line, or not point lights, we have line lights. We have the line lights. It's working. She's working. Oh, joyous day. Oh, no, that's a point light. Let's go here. But yeah, oh, joyous day. Oh my goodness, dude. What a great day it is. What a great day it is. Oh my goodness. We've done it. We're darn it. We done did it. Oh my goodness, dude. I can't believe we done it. And she's working like she's supposed to. Let's do like 3. And we have a series of these. And then the real cool thing, the next thing I would want to do is do some kind of like fog. Having a fog, have light sources like this affect fog as well. So there's some kind of volumetric lighting. There's some ways we can fake it, because I want to keep this game very lean. I want to keep things very lean so you can run it on a crapbox laptop. What's up, Jacob? I have no idea what you just did, but I know the feeling. Yeah, before we had this infinite line of light that just continued going everywhere. Now that's actually starting and stopping at these points. That's like the main thing that I'm happy about here. That's the victory. That's the big happy for me. I'm a little concerned because I'm pressing play and nothing's happening. I'm a little bit scared. This might be a Unity editor being weird or bad, or a bug actually, because I've been having this at work too, where I press play and just Unity just says, all right, I'm playing, but it actually doesn't. That might be what's going on here. Don't rain on my parade, Unity. I just got the thing working. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. How dare you do this to me? I'll never forgive you. Praise be up. Goblets. Yes, sir. Brother, this is tragic. I just had success, and you're teasing me with it, Unity. Why would you do that to me? How could you do this to me? Okay. Well, we're just gonna have to, I guess, to do this classic move of just bam. Let Unity take 3 business days to shut down. In the meantime, let's just add our progress. Let's just save our progress, guys. That sounds like a great idea. Oh, these changes are in my sub-repository. Yeah. Okay, I was like, I know I did way more changes than this. Oh yeah, because it's all in the sub repository. Of course. Got 2 lines working. Actually, MDK. Yep. Yep. Basic level stuff, but nothing crazy. Okay, Unity officially died, so we can now do Unity Hub. And then we can relaunch it and test it out and take a gander at it. And just enjoy our work. Just enjoy our work. Now just look at the loading graph, the loading bar. Hey, we heard you like Windows XP, so we made your UI be buggy. That mouse, are you talking about this one? The vertical, it's good. It's helped me with my carpal tunnel. Actually, it's helped alleviate it significantly. The IBM one, it's a nice novelty. I need to change the speed of it though, just so it could be faster. But aside from that, it's pretty good. I enjoy it. It's a nice treat for me. Okay, what's going on here? What's going on here? Why? I'm seeing things move. There we go. Okay. Yep, and it's behaving like a point lights. That's pretty sick. I don't like the hard edges, but we can just configure that between the intensity and radius. That's not a big deal. And the lights interact well with each other. They play well. Oh my goodness. But yeah, the next step would be having, like, when you're far away and it's more fog, having this become like kind of having the lights still show through the fog. I think that's a really cool visual effect. I don't know how we're going to do it. I'd like to avoid any kind of actual volumetric data being used. Maybe I should do some JPEGs, you know? We just do some basic JPEGs. I'm using I'm using Linux. Yeah, I'm just using basic old Ubuntu with i3 to do my windowed navigation. That'd be crazy to have like this stuff working on XP though. That'd be insane. Yeah, dude. Okay, sick. We have more level design tools, dude. We have more level design tools? That's what the doctor ordered. That's all you can ask for. And then let's just do some documentation because, you know, we like to be, even though this is only for me, I still like treating my code base as if other people may come into it because maybe, who knows? Who knows what happens, guys? Maybe we drop this game and then, I don't know, Jeff Bezos loves it and he's like, all right, brother, we're going to give you $5 bajillion and, you know, just do whatever you want. And then I get to be like, all right. Hi, John Carmack. Please use my code base. Yes, I know I'm bad. I understand. Yes, sir. Yes. That's why you're here, okay? That's why you're here. Point of the line. He wouldn't need docs. He wouldn't need the documentations, actually. This is for other people. The endpoint of the line. The point to use for querying. Closest point to reference point within the line. I give it a spree. Love seeing the sparks fly from Chicks' fingers and numbins. Do you also do music production? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do music production. I mean, I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm not trying to be like that kind of guy. But I will say. You know what? I'm not gonna say it. But I will say though, I have Newgrounds. Oh my! Did they change the UI for Newgrounds? All my music's on Newgrounds. Yeah, I do a bunch of stuff. I do a variety of things. For Crimson Crown, I did a bunch of orchestral stuff. I've done like Sega Genesis type stuff. That kind of thing. I've done like big band jazz stuff. Where is it? Big band jazz? Yeah. Yeah, this one here. This is for Crimson Crown. I love this song a lot, man. But yeah, we do some music production stuff. Back in the day, man. You have to go now. Hey, it was nice having you, Calvin. You have a good one, all right? I'll catch you later, man. And hopefully things work out with the remote stuff, man. Sounds like Morse code message. Yep, far out. I remember Newgrounds. I still publish Newgrounds. The prototype for this game's on Newgrounds. Newgrounds, surprisingly, is still kind of popping. Surprisingly so. I'm sorry to like kidnap you guys for a second and make you listen to my mixtape, but like, I don't know. I'm happy with the stuff I've done, and you know, it's not every day you get to take people hostage. Of the Mushroom Kingdom. No, I don't remember the Rise of the Mushroom Kingdom. Please elaborate, though. I'd like to know about the rise. The lore, the history. Finds the closest point. Let's do a mathematical definition. Given a point. Actually, if we're going to do that voice, let's do it like this. Given a point. On a point. Defined by. Given a point and a line defined by 2 points, this function returns the nearest point on line, not exceeding the min and max points of the line. Okay, that's probably not a math definition, but whatever. That's the closest thing I could do. Not exceeding start or end points. Yeah, that's close enough to me. That's good enough. If we do this. I like the JS doc format better, but whatever. Sprite artist, and it was published during peak Newgrounds. Huh. Randy Solom, let me get the link. Sweet, yeah, send it to me. I like to see it. Oh, is he like the... Oh, I've seen like a bunch of crazy Super Mario Bros. Animations back in the day. Closest. Alright, so besides this, so we have our lighting stuff done now. The things that come to mind are less visual. We can implement the cone lighting. That's gonna be a whole thing, but as far as that's concerned, I'm kind of I'm not sure how we're gonna go about it. How we're gonna go about doing the cone light. I actually don't even know how we're gonna implement a cone light. Oh, welcome back, Calvin. Priyanka, hey, what's up with work? Well, work's going a little bit hard right now, man. Partly because I'm leaving work to go go on vacation, but as far as this work is concerned, we are cooking. We're actually very happy right now because we got our point light stuff working. And now I need to start implementing another type of light source for this. This is why it's weird, because like even though we're using Unity, a lot of the things we're doing are like engine level things. like implement our own light source and different light types, and how do you populate this stuff. But yeah, there's like Unity has another primitive light sources like point lights or spotlights. Yeah, spotlights specifically. That's what I mean. I'm back. Advancements made. Fix the lights. Yeah, or make the lights. Yeah, we fixed the lights. The 2-point lights. Now it's a matter of making the cone lights. And let's bring in Unity's basic one so we can see what data they're using to define this, and then we can decide how we want to define a cone light. Because I think there's value in having them. And we go to lights, and we have spotlights, and then they have an area light as well. That'll be the next thing I want to implement beyond this. But isn't this cool? We have our own little custom light sources that you can't get in Unity. That's pretty sick. Like all 5 people who are aware of this are going to be like, this is sick. This is not your average Unity game. And then they're going to continue playing the game, and they're going to be like, well, this game kind of sucks though. So yeah, we have this, right? And let's see what data it's using to define a point light or a spotlight. So you have a range value, and you have your angled value. I don't know if I care about having an angle. I'd rather think in terms of the radius of this circle at the very end. So range and spot angle. And unlike the other, like the point, like this is simple because like a circle, like it's basically just a circle. So it's very easy to determine. Orientation doesn't matter of a sphere. The sphere, no matter how it's oriented, all that matters is your point relative to the radius. But with a cone light, there's way more considerations because orientation actually does matter. Orientation does matter, dude. The code makes all of your devices really cool. Oh yeah, it's so cool. It's so cool, man. It's cool to think that code. Yeah, it's super cool how everything is built. It's kind of crazy thinking about the levels of complexity of code, because like even here we're not low level, guys. This is high level code right here. All right, we're not dealing with like the stack and heap directly, and then we're not even thinking about the memory stuff, and then we're not even thinking about the actual instructions that are generated or the JIT stuff. And even then assembly, guys, is actually a high level coding language, guys. Assembly, that's high level, dude. That's pretty high level. That's pretty high level, man. Yeah, the low level stuff is actually dealing with like the logic gates and designing the actual hardware and all that stuff. Are you telling me you're using the ALU that comes with your CPU? You didn't hand roll your own ALU and just chuck it into there? Rookie stuff. No, but it's kind of crazy. There's like levels of abstractions. And I think even yesterday when someone asked about the difference between like hardware versus or computer engineering versus software engineering, what is the option here? I think edit is what I want to use. Well, what's the option here to edit anyways? Yeah, here, like there is this whole like the difference in computer engineering versus software engineering, and like these are all connected, dude. From the basic like voltage defining a boolean bit value, it's all connected. It's all level. Everything is just factorial, dude. That's what everything is just factorial. Coding your bones, coding your trees. They even put code in the water. They're making the frogs code. I can't believe they're making the frogs code. But yeah, it's pretty gnarly. It's pretty freaking gnarly how much is involved. Oh, these can be made read only. Okay, cool. We'll do that. Actually, look at this, guys. Look at this. By the way, I do Vim, by the way. So you can do things like this. You can do a little, I don't know, a little this, and you can do a little that, and you can do a little this, and you can do a little that, and wow, ba-bang. By the way, guys, I use Vim. By the way. I use Vim Motions. By the way, guys, did you know I use Vim? Vim Motions? Oh, man. Yeah, it's pretty sick, dude. I don't even understand all of this, man. And the stream, I need to go now. Whoa, we were like 3 hours in. Yeah, I think I'm going to take a second to try to just think about how we're going to deal with this cone orientation problem. And then I'm not going to start implementing it today. We got the point light, the 2-line point stuff. So I'm probably going to end soon. But yeah, I'm just explaining what we're going to have to do next time, or what I'm going to do off stream over the weekend. But yeah, orientation matters, which means that for cones, our current data type might not be sufficient. We might actually have to like have a matricy involved here to be able to do this computation. It is going to be very strange. That's for sure. It's going to be a very odd thing we're doing here. Yeah. Because orientation 100% matters in how things are lit. We can't just use an arbitrary orientation or world space orientation. We have to have like some kind of... Probably what we're going to do is have some kind of formula for... Because the goal here would be finding the nearest point within this shape to a fragment, to a point in world space, like an arbitrary point within this world space. So we have to make some kind of formula for doing that, which means you have to have some kind of formula just for finding the closest point in a cone, but then like having another thing to transform it by a matrix. So I don't know what we're gonna do. This sounds kind of crazy. It's kind of scary a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I feel a little bit scared. And then there's the concept of a normal too, because this is all going this way. So this is gonna be, yeah, this is gonna be a weird one. I might have to do some research. But if not this, if we say this is good enough, then the next thing I probably would do is maybe some controller fine-tuning for the player. Maybe fix that bug we had there. I don't know. I need to make a Jira board. I already have a Jira board for this game, but I need to just track tasks. My bad. But yeah, I need to start tracking some tasks, because this is kind of finagly, man, to say the least. This is pretty finagly, to say the least. So I guess, yeah, I'm gonna think about what to do, and then maybe next stream we don't even do this. Maybe we do the stream where we finally do our web dev dreams, where we say, you know what, graphic design is my passion, and we start making the new Cozy Cabin website, because we really need to do that. I don't know. Anyways, guys, fun fact, Python is a code that's most simple, or at least the internet says. Yeah, that's what people say. It's simple. It's simple in the same way that the devil telling Adam or Eve to eat the apple of forbidden knowledge was simple. Yeah, man, just eat the apple. And what can go wrong, man? What can go wrong? Just eat the apple, Eve. What can go wrong? It's nice, juicy little apple. Just eat it. Yeah, that's what Python is. It seems simple. It seems simple. And if you use it for what it's intended, it is simple. I've done Python in a very simple context, and I'm pretty happy with it. But my opinion, unless you're using PyCharm, maybe if it, like, again, I don't know, I don't have knowledge about that, but as soon as you start doing architecture and structures and defining interfaces and APIs for interactions, that's when things go from being pretty sick to pretty, oh my goodness, dude. Like, let me find my Python script. Yeah, here we go. Like, this is how Python should be. Just a single script, single line. It does the thing it needs to do. And that's it. Once we leave that, it's like, once you leave that, then it's like, all right, you're going to be hurt. You're going to be hurt badly. You're going to be burned, and it's going to be bad, and you're going to have a bad day. And at the end of the day, it's your fault. That's a problem. You get sort of caught up, hyper focused, and you don't end up taking tasks off, and then you just got a long list of things you have to do. Yeah, exactly. I need to do like a dependency graph. The same project managerial stuff I do for my job. I mean, not project managerial. The same I don't know, dependency graph management Gantt chart stuff I do for. I should probably do it for my personal projects. I should probably start treating it kind of like my day job. But we'll see about that. Do I play games? Yes, some on occasion. So I know last time we were playing. I was playing. What was it? I forgot what it was called. It was something cool. It was like a point and click adventure game, and we got halfway through it, or maybe halfway. I don't know. I got like an hour through it. There's probably more to it than that, but hey, a Devolver sale? Cool. Okay, can we just close that window? No, I don't want to close Steam. Okay, yeah, it's still there. Okay, whatever. Okay, we're playing, let me find the game. Can I find it here? Yeah, last time I was playing Peak, and then we were playing, let me just type in coup. This point and click adventure game. Yeah, the many pieces of Mr. Coup. If that's of interest, I'd love to do it too on stream. Have a day to just play games. I love coding, but sometimes you have to. What is a chef who doesn't eat food, right? Like, what is a chef who doesn't eat food? You can't really trust that chef, right? So, I should probably play games. But yeah, last time we were playing Peak, and we were playing on this monitor too, and it worked pretty dang well. I was surprised by how well Peak worked on this monitor, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. See ya, Calvin. You have a good one, all right? You have a good one, Calvin. But yeah, that's yeah. If that's of interest, let me know, and I'd love to play some games on stream, or I'll probably just play it regardless. Maybe the next one we actually play though would be Hypnospace, because that's like super Y2K. That's a very Y2K type game, and I think it'll be perfect for this kind of monitor setup we have here. I think that'd be the perfect game to play on stream. A game where you're browsing the old web. I think that'd be the next game we play. I'm gonna go to Puerto Rico next week, guys. So this setup we see here is gonna be gone for 2 weeks. I'm gonna be streaming, and it's gonna be vastly different from this. So I'm sorry for those who came just for the CRT and the keyboard. Tragically, we will not be doing it. It'll be something very different while I'm over there. But if that's not a deal breaker, we'll try some stuff out there. It'll be a week of experimentation. And I might have to change my laptop to be not Windows 11 and actually be Linux. All right, guys. I used to watch Pirate Software, but your coding to gaming ratio seems better first day watching, by the way. Yeah, well, here's the thing, right? Like, I have, and this has always been the case for me. I spend way more time programming than playing games. Like, I have to consciously force myself to play games. I don't know what happened. Like, somewhere in middle school, I felt like I'm wasting time if I'm not working on my games versus playing other people's games. The big thing is I would watch YouTubers play games, and that's how I enjoyed it vicariously. So I can just keep working on whatever I was working on. But yeah, like, I find programming way more interesting than playing games. I love making games. I love playing games. I'm still a gamer, guys. I'm still a gamer, dude. But yeah, like, I don't know, programming is somehow more rewarding to me. I mean, there's still games that put a lot of time into, but that's just how the cookie crumbles. But yeah, we'll play some games. We'll do some stuff. It'll be good. And yeah, Makla, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate your company. Sorry about the pirate stuff. It's very tragic what happened. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching this feature get programmed, and I'll be catching you guys in the next stream. Until then, stay cozy. Bye-bye. Oh, that's a great send off, but I couldn't find the stop streaming button.